The bite was sweet. The tattoo was sweet, huh?
Hey, this is the yeah, the tattoo. This was UFC 89, right? UFC Vegas 89.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
No, wait. This one today? No, that was last week. Vegas '89 was last week, bro.
All right, what is this one?
Atlantic City.
UFC.
Any old way. I got some quick hot topics we can hit until some dudes get in here. I know we got a few on the way. Let's add average avenues. What's happening, bro? All right, Trace. So I don't know where the slow pokes are, but Maria Agapova. I don't. I know I have a hard time with these names. Agapa.
No, you got it. You got it. Don't try
Okay.
and correct yourself. You got it.
All right. She called out Mick Maynard on social media, um, saying that she has 2 fights left on her contract and they won't give her a fight, and she trains too much to work a full time job, and that she's not able to fight in other promotions, so she's not able to make money. Man, I don't know enough about her to know if like she's turned any fights down or anything. But I will say that I follow a lot of the female fighters. And of course, like anybody else with a little brand or channel, you try to figure out who the new people are first. You try to get to know them, maybe develop a relationship with them. And I will say there are definitely some females that are not in the ranks. Some that are very talented. They're not getting fights. Even though they should, they're not getting fights. I don't know if it's because the UFC's overlooking them or because people don't want to fight them. But I guess all I'm saying is I feel her pain. For someone like her, I could see where like that PFL guaranteed fights in a year type shit might might seem like a better deal for her. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just it's making some headlines. I've seen it on like 4 channels that she called him out. I think it's mostly because she deleted it right after she called him out. So, um, then everybody makes a big fucking issue of it. But I don't know. Josh Thompson says that he heard AP has a clause in his UFC 300 contract that if he wins and is healthy, meaning he can get cleared, that he gets to main event UFC 301. Um, man, I he said he wanted to do both. He said he was supposed to do 301, so when he got moved to 300, he said he wants to still be able to do 300 and then do 301. So I don't know. I guess some of it for me is, again, this is one that's making waves. I've seen it on 3 or 4 of the channels this week. But Josh didn't really stand on anything when he said it. He just said, I heard. So, I don't know. I heard he's going to fight at 302 as well. I don't know. Whatever. What you think of that? You think he's fighting at 301, Trace?
Nah, man, like he's about to get knocked out, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's going to knock him out? Jamal Hill?
Glover's wife, he keeps taking them phones.
Listen, bro. I watched the video of Jamal talking about how AP's only got one hope at beating him, basically calling him a one trick pony and all that shit. And I'm not being nasty at all. I'm not defending AP. But when I watched the video, all I could think to myself was, "Bro, you're a one trick pony. Somebody's got to drop their hands so that you can leap in with a hook and catch him and then finish the fight. You are literally the definition of a fucking one trick pony. Am I missing something, bro? Is there more depth to Jamal Hill than I
Yeah,
see?
there is. There's called that he has a ground game and Pereira doesn't.
He does have a ground game?
Just because you ain't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't have it, but we know Bahia doesn't have it.
Yeah, but we heard about Justin Gaethje's ground game for how long?
Yeah, there's something about like how he never goes there. That's his ground game.
Yeah, and then when he did, what happened?
He lived.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's fair. He lived. I don't know. Anyway, Peter Yan. I don't know, bro. It's weird. Peter Yan right now, he's got there's rumors going around about him fighting Chito Vera in November and shit. But I
He
think that's
won't be
all.
fighting. He won't be
Did I-
fighting November with a torn ACL.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. That's all. Did I say Peter Vera? Fucking Marlon Vera.
Are we really starting the space with Peter Yan talk?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is my man has a ruptured ACL, a torn meniscus, and a groin injury, and he is scheduled for triple surgery. That puts him out till at least 2025. You're not coming back from an ACL, and even if you could, you're not coming back from an ACL and a meniscus tear in 10 months. And if that shit, what would that be? 6 months? There's just no fucking way. So, if anybody's starting to look at that or think about that, I'll just go ahead and let you know now. That's probably all smoke. All right, we're going to try to see if this thing will let me pin some tweets again. It's like week to week when it will or when it won't. But I like to share all the stuff that I can from Twitter. We're a Twitter-based brand, so I try to get as much as I can from Twitter. So Walt Harris accepted a 48-month suspension. I'll put it real short to you. Walt Harris dropped dirty at least 3 times. It was 2 competition samples, and then he dropped again for them, and it was dirty again. It was a metabolite. Let's see if this works. Oh shit! Did that post? Did that pin up?
Yes, sir.
Hey! Look at that shit. It's been forever coming. All right, so that's the post by Aaron Bronstetter. Walt is 40 years old right now. He would be 44 before he could return. I don't know. For Walt Harris, I think that this is essentially being retired by the Anti-Doping Commission unless he asks for his UFC release to go fight somewhere else. I don't. Yeah, I don't really see how he comes back at 44 years old with 4 years off. So
Did anybody else not know that he was still in the UFC?
you're such a dick, dude.
He's not wrong. I thought he'd already had been suspended. I was surprised when I read it, to be fair. I thought he already had a suspension.
So he already popped dirty. He just finally accepted that he's got 48 months. We knew he was suspension, but my understanding is the sentence was laid down, and he's not fighting it. He's not arguing it. He's taking 48 months. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of retirement, in my opinion. I don't know a lot about Walt and what he's got going on in his personal life. So whatever. Speaking of 44 years old, Uriah Faber is 44 years old and recently revealed that he is still under contract with the UFC and still gets tested. He says he stays ready in case a short notice bout with a good paycheck pops up. He also said that he hopes to box TJ Dillashaw, but we need the UFC's blessing for that. Of all the MMA fighters that go boxing and all that bullshit, I tell you what, I wouldn't mind watching TJ and Uriah Faber fucking box. I'd be okay with it. I need TJ on full PEDs though. None of that bullshit where you're gonna weigh him down with drug testing. If you're going over to fucking boxing, TJ gets to TJ in this bitch.
So you're saying you want Uriah to die?
I like Uriah. I think he's a fun guy. I like him like on a personal, like on a like a personal level. I think maybe it's just because I've been following him for so fucking long, but Uriah's a fun guy. Seems like someone you'd be easy to get along with, which is probably why he can get along with pricks like fucking Garbrandt and everybody else. Yeah, whatever. I said what I said. So Don Davis announced a pay-per-view card for this summer. Francis versus Renan. Chris Cyborg versus Larissa Pachenko. Cedric Doumbé versus nobody knows yet, but it's coming. Cedric Doumbé.
It's probably a log. Another splinter.
Is it his foot?
I heard it was the whole tree this time. I don't know. I don't have all of the details though, so don't hold me accountable for that. I did hear it would be the whole tree this time, so we'll find out. Chris Cyborg, who I'll be honest, I've had really good interactions with on social media lately. Yeah, whatever that's worth. Chris pretty much says it's bullshit. She doesn't want to sit that long. She doesn't have a contract. She basically just says it's bullshit without directly saying it's bullshit. The other thing I would comment on about it is that Francis was planning on boxing again this year. It was already very clear that that's what he was going to do if he beat Joshua. So I don't see how they would have a fight inked for him in MMA already. I think Don's full of his bullshit again. You guys know how I feel about Don. I call him Don the Con. I hashtag Don the Con all the time. I don't think much of the guy. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I posted 2 more tweets up there. That's Cyborg saying, I do not think our relationship is totally fine. And then the tweet goes on. And then I posted the clip of Don. I don't know. Andrew is the resident PFL guy. I'm curious to see what he has to say about it. Usman got his hand up. Sorry, I was scrolled up. Go ahead, Usman.
Yeah, no, I too have been also having pretty cool interactions with Chris Cyborg. I got into a debate, I guess, with Ian Parker, and in defense of Cyborg, and she actually showed up to defend me, defending her. So that was pretty badass. The only thing I wanted to fucking say is like, here we go with that fucking media bullshit. Andrew will probably hate me because it seems like I'm licking the boot of the UFC. But every fucking media outlet will go ahead and fucking complain and throw big hissy fits about fucking Dana White announcing fights that are completely unsigned and shit. And here we have Chris Cyborg attacking multiple people on Twitter, making it very vocal that she doesn't have a contract. There was never any talks of this fucking fight at all. Yet Don Davis is saying the only thing that they're unsure about this fight is that whether it'll be in July, August, or September. Probably September, but who knows? Depending on when Ngannou's ready to fight. Bunch of bullshit, bunch of fucking bullshit, and bunch of bullshit on top of that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm not putting nothing in anything Don says. Yeah, whatever. Fucking is what it is. All right, so Nick Diaz posted training footage on IG, I believe. I won't lie, I seen it over at, I think it was the Best of MMA where I seen the clip. It could have been someone else, though. I watch a lot of these stuff, guys. I'm not a reporter. I just try to gather the best stories, the ones that are the most popular that everybody's hitting, so we can get some hot topics for the night. Pretty sure I seen it over there. And the caption was, somebody is going to pay very soon. When I seen that caption, all I thought to myself was, hopefully he's talking about some students that have overdue bills or something, because I do not want to see Nick Diaz in the octagon. There's not enough nostalgia. There's not enough, oh, he could. There's Nick Diaz in the octagon against anybody that is currently signed is just fucking horrible. I don't want to see it. Like, I was trying to think who realistically could they match him up with. He's in the same weight class as Matt Brown, right?
Oh, literally, I was just gonna say Matt Brown.
Bro, Matt Brown would fucking murder him. Murder him. That shit would
Yes,
be.
he would.
Yeah, like, bro, it would be sad to watch. And like, Matt is really good. I think Matt is great for an old head. But like, he's not even the top of the top, bro. Nick should not do this. Usman.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Let that shit happen. Let Matt go ahead and tie, or let Mike. Oh yeah, Matt Brown. Go ahead and tie Derek Lewis back up for the KO record.
I mean, I can't be mad. I'm not. I listen, as a Matt Brown fan, let that shit go down all day. As a Nick Diaz fan, bro, get the fuck out of here. What are you
Look,
saying, Usman?
Diaz is a old head. He's been in the game for 100 years. If he comes unprepared, he deserves to get what he gets. I mean, let's be honest. He knows what the fight game is. Sorry, Usman, stomping all over you. Go ahead.
You're weak, Joe. You're soft. You're soft, Joe. What we want is Nick Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. Give the people what they want.
So here's what I would say: the only possible fair fight the UFC and all of their fighters that they could give Nick Diaz would be Tony Ferguson. Connor J.
It is so fitting that given the opportunity, Usman could kill off two fighters with one fight. He would shout that one first. What an ugly fight. Jesus. I do not want Nick Diaz back in. Yeah, no. No, God no.
Average Avenues. Go ahead.
What are the chances this is just one of Nick's many teasers?
Oh yeah, I don't put any stock into it, but the fact that people are getting excited about it is disgusting to me. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I put a ton of Stockton. Get it?
Yeah. Ha. No par intended. Andrew, get after it.
Bro, so we always talk shit about like when they make terrible fights that we don't want to see. And we always talk shit. We're always like, yeah, I'm not watching that shit, right? We always say that. I promise you, I am so authentic and genuine when I say this. If that fight actually came to fruition, I would go into another room and go do anything else. And then I will come back in about 20 minutes and then we will go on with the next fight. That's fucking gross.
You'd miss two fights because Nick Diaz would get finished by Matt Brown in about 60 fucking seconds. And then after that, they would walk the other people out. So you probably would miss more than just that fight in 20 minutes. I just want you to know you could probably just go take a piss, come back, because Nick would get beat the fuck up. I don't care what.
Oh, I was more so referring to the Tony one, but yeah. I was more so referring to the Tony one.
That fight
But
would
if
last
he
20
did
minutes.
fight Matt Brown, it's one of those things. It's like the Lawler thing. It's like I'm gonna watch it, but I feel like fucking dirty. Like I don't feel good about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. All right.
I just want
We
you guys
got
to
10
know.
minutes, 3
Far
left.
and away, Nick Diaz is by far the better. Diaz brother, he's by far the better skill fighter. Just so y'all know.
Obviously.
Yeah,
If you weren't
fucking 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, he's not Tao, though.
skill for skill, I would still say that Nick is better. Nate's just entertaining.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not going to defend Nate in that situation at all. O'Malley says 299 did between 600,000 and 700,000 buys. Sean and Timbo from, I don't know. He's Timbo, whatever, the Timbo show. I don't know what it's called.
How many, Joe? I'm sorry, man.
Between 600,000 and 700,000 buys.
Okay.
So him and Timbo are claiming that's because streaming is so accessible now, and it would have easily broke 1 million buys. I'm gonna say this: they stacked Sean O'Malley's card to the gills, to the point that people started questioning, like, just bro, when tons and tons of fans are questioning, are you a star because your card is so stacked? Like when
I mean, we did.
everybody is questioning it, there's validity to it, right? So they stacked the card to the fucking moon for you, and you still did 600,000 or 700,000. Like, I'll be honest, I figured it did 4-6. So I probably figured it was more around 450, if I'm being honest. So like, applaud to them. But I don't know what O'Malley. I don't know what his expectations were, is what I'm saying. Trace, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it didn't sell that well, but I will say this: the performance that he put on, the dominance, and that knee, bro, that knee. I think even if he wasn't a star, I mean, he was already a star. He may not sell the most, but I do think that fight will help his sales going further. He looked tremendous in that fight. I mean, he looked like what's his name didn't even belong in the same ring as him. Like, I mean, it was just a hell of a performance till the end. Until the end, he did get hurt at the end, but the first 4 rounds, he just put on a performance. So I would say his fight stock did rise for that fight, even more than it was.
Fair enough. I'm watching over on the YouTube. Dead Picks. I don't know if you're able. Are you able to scroll the tweets that I'm pinning up there? Are you able to scroll those as we go through the topics here? Kind of on the fly here, guys.
My
Sorry.
bad, pimp. I'm fucking yeah. I
I'm
was
not
pulling
tripping.
away
I'm
from the
just
screen.
asking.
No, yeah,
Because
for sure I could do that.
I was
I just
gonna,
wasn't doing it right now. My bad.
I was wondering if I should start taking them down as I go. I'm just, there's
Nah, you
times.
don't have to do that because I have a way where I literally just scroll up like a little bit, like once we do the breakdowns, and you can't even see it no more.
Okay, beautiful. So I hit a couple bookmarks up there. DC recently posted that he's out from wrestling commentary due to criticism. Um, DC catches a lot of shit. DC catches a lot of shit from MMA fans. He catches a lot of shit from wrestling fans. He catches a lot of shit. But here's what I will say. I pinned 2 posts on purpose. One's from Mason Beckman, who's like a former collegiate guy. He's a huge coach, if I understand correctly. He's somebody in the wrestling world. And he basically shit on DC. He said DC is painful. He has no professionalism on the mic to the point of being ridiculous. DC, it went back and forth a little bit. DC posted, guys, I'm out. This will be my last time doing NCAA tournament. And then he goes on. Then I posted another tweet I pinned up there where all DC says was love me or hate me. We sure do get some people talking wrestling, and ultimately that's what I'm here to do. The NCAA wrestling tournament is just the best of it's just the best. Off to UFC 300. And he posted a screenshot of the tweet, one of the tweets that he had posted, and it's got 4 million views. Here's why I brought this up, and this is my comment. I don't care if DC's a homer. I don't care what he is as far as commentary. Collegiate wrestling is blessed to have him. Um, it's not like they have the world class announcers or commentators that are drawing a crowd. It's not like he's replacing someone who could also draw that crowd and do better. DC is clearly bringing the A side in that situation. And I think that whole community should be very appreciative of him and Chael and several other guys. I do. I don't feel like they owe wrestling. I think that motto or that montage is fucking dumb. Um, at this point, wrestling should be grateful to have them. Average, go ahead.
No, you're good.
You put your hand up, and then I call on you. You say I'm good.
No, I was just gonna say because it's not really important. I was just gonna point out. I read the first comment on that tweet. It says MMA fans say a lot of worse things about that commentary, but you still do it. And Daniel Cormier's comment was, "I get paid a lot to do that." That kind of made me chuckle.
It's the truth, though. He does that. I don't think he gets any money for doing. If he does, like, let's be honest, it's not enough for him to really give a shit about. Like, DC's making money. You can say what you want. DC's making money. Um, yeah, 100%. So, all right, on to the last
Yo,
one I
yo, yo.
got.
I have a take on that.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't understand why DC gets so much flack. Of the fighter commentators, he's the best. Like him and Paul Felder are the top two. They're the most knowledgeable, but like DC's knowledge for like wrestling, not only for NCAA purposes, but in MMA. You were talking about the guy that we thought that the new way that was going to be the most dominant way for getting takedowns was single legs because of how well he used them. They are effective if you know how to use them, but nobody's ever been as effective with single legs as he is. Like that dude is a fountain of knowledge when it comes to wrestling, for whether it's for MMA or just for NCAA purposes. But I get it. He's a little corny, but man, he really is a good commentator. Like he says goofy shit sometimes, and he jokes maybe more than he should. But whenever he's dialed in and he's focusing, he's one of the better commentators. Like you can't take that from like DC or Dominic Cruz sucks. I'm not a Dom fan. Uh, Bisping, I do like Bisping, but Bisping is he's a bit bullish and he bullies people and kind of talks shit to the other guys that aren't fighters. So I kind of I pick up on that, but like Felder and Dom, they're Felder and DC, they're top tier, man. Like they're good. Like they're better than you look at
So
other
those are
organizations.
literally the two homers, though, and that's what people complain about. So the biggest
But you
problem is
but you look at other organizations, like they smoke the commentators that do shit for other organizations by
so I
easily.
agree with you on DC. My biggest beef with DC is that if he has a personal relationship with a fighter, just fucking forget about it because it's so biased, and I think that's why he catches so much shit. I know that that's why he catches so much shit. Paul Felder says a lot of dumb shit. He just says dumb shit. Like when I say dumb shit, like sometimes he talks like he forgets that he has a microphone and he's on ESPN. Um, and I think that's why they catch shit. But in fight, I do not disagree with you that they are very good. I like a lot of the foreign guys, the guys from the UK and shit. If I had it my way, it would be Anik and all them fucking guys from overseas. Those are the guys I like. So, but in fight, especially when it comes to wrestling, DC knows a lot. Another problem though is he kind of talks shit about fighters when they don't do what they're supposed to. You got to just move on as a commentator. These are supposed to be the best of the best. You can't talk shit about these guys and push the product. You can't do both. You can't fucking do both. Um man, I believe I got it in fuego.
Yeah, Joe, you got it right.
I
Good
know I
job.
had it right for like 2 weeks now, but last week I didn't get to say it, bro. Go
Hey,
ahead, bro. Welcome to the
I
mic.
got a question for you, and I like what you're saying, but I'm wondering, do you guys believe that in a lopsided fight that there are powers that be that want the commentators to keep the fight close? Have you guys noticed? It's a lopsided fight,
The
and they're
truck
still
exists for a
they're still
reason.
pump you're still pumping up the dog that is getting the shit kicked out of him. You guys notice that?
Yeah, so there's the truck exists for a reason. I mean the sound truck. It's very well known that they are being fed information and things to say in their earpiece at all times. It used to be before they knew the fucking moves. Um, damn it, I'm so embarrassed. I can't remember who used to do it, but one of the real popular guys used to sit in the truck and tell them all the names, and he used to make names up for moves when there were no names for them and shit. Man,
I just feel like, Joe, when they do that they lose credibility with the viewer, especially guys like us that know what's going on. You know what I mean?
So here is the trickiest thing I have ever heard that I will say relates directly to that because my thought is, well, there's a lot of gambling. So you could greatly affect the line as a commentator talking too much shit or indicating too much. The one that I say is this is the one that like I'm waiting, like I want to hold a whole space about. How is it possible that ESPN can have a sports book? Because they do.
Well,
You can
Joe,
bet with ESPN.
they kind of do. It's Penn that runs the sports book, but obviously the vehicle for it is ESPN, right? So there is a vested interest in it.
So what
But
I'm saying is,
yeah,
if
I
you had
know.
commentators, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
would need your commentators to do what the truck tells them to do and say what the truck tells them to say.
Yeah, I mean, any of you guys that follow me on Twitter, you'll know I get in there round 2, round 3 go and say Bisping is trying to keep this fight close. Don't let him fool you. Fighter A is getting their ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Oh,
If it's
Rogan,
not clear to you, you know what I mean?
Joe Rogan's been doing it for years. He's hurt. No, he's not. Average, get after this one, and then I'm going to close it out with one that
I
won't
noticed.
take much conversation.
I noticed that a lot of criticism came DC's way when the whole thing with Dominic went down. The whole you don't do your research thing. People were seemingly fine with DC until then.
Okay. I felt like it was the Islam fights. I felt like it was the Islam fights that turned everybody on.
That is a part of it too. But people still bring up you don't do your research to this day.
Yeah, but he does now. So, like, what Cruz actually did was DC does immense amounts of research now. If you follow him at all, you know he does it like he's a gambler now. He has a whole day of fucking tape when he is assigned. Him and Bisping both do it. And they do it to spite Cruz. They do it because fuck him. They do it to be able to rub it in his face. They don't say it, but that Bisping kind of does. That's why they do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think DC's fine. I think that there should be certain fights that he should remove himself from. And I think there's less and less of those fights as his generation passes. So give it another 2 or 3 years, and there's no reason DC won't be able to ride off, until retirement, commentating on the mic. So Laura Sanko is catching shit from former UFC fighter Jamie Varner. I have a tweet here. I'm going to pin if I can find it. Here we go. Pinned it up at the top there. All I'm commenting is that Laura Sanko is one of my very favorite commentators. She has stepped it up and then stepped it up. And you can tell that even in like the weigh-in shows, she is really on top of knowing all of the information and doing all of the research, and almost to the point where she baits the guys because she knows that they're not doing as much as she is. And I grade her strictly on that. And then secondly, I grade her on you can be fucking phenomenal at research, but if you suck on the mic, you suck on the mic. Laura she's nice to listen to. She has a good voice for commentary. So shout out to Laura Sanko and fuck Jamie Varner. Yeah, we're not even really going to discuss that. I'm not even going to really get into that topic. That was just all that I have to say about that. Fuck Jamie Varner for that.
True.
That's it, bro. Like, I don't know.
Wait, I got something to add about Laura Sanko.
What do you got?
Yep.
Yeah, what do you got?
Yeah, like you were saying, after watching this weekend, yeah, she did a good job. Like, she kind of knew her shit when it came to, like, fighting. She did a good job.
Bro, Sanko does a fuck ton of research.
She's
Like, if you ever watch their weigh-in shows, she knows that shit. I don't know whose weigh-ins you watch, but watch the UFC weigh-in. Laura Sanko is a fucking beast, bro.
Like I remember listening to Dana White talk about when she first became like a full-time commentator. She is probably one of the hardest working people in the sport. It's ridiculous how hard this woman works.
Well, yeah, and then that's just like the same people who said initially they were calling her a woman who didn't know shit about the sport. She fucking fought. All right, we're 5 minutes over for Hot Topics. It is time to start the card breakdown. I'm going to give it to Trace if he wants to comment on this, and then we're going to get into the card.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm not going to sit here and take shots at people, but, like, if you're going to try to discredit somebody or say, like, somebody's only somewhere because they're kind of good looking, that would be like a Nina Drama situation. I don't know if you've ever seen her on the mic, but she is truly bad. Like, she didn't even know who Donald Cerrone was, like, in her interview when she was interviewing him. And, that's just, like, Laura Sanko is one of the better commentators by far, regardless of gender. But, like, for women's MMA, like a women's MMA commentator, she's phenomenal. Like, she is top tier. Like, she will be the Anik of the women's MMA, and she'll be, I think she'll be phenomenal. I think she's great. But yeah, Andrew, are you ready to dive into this card, brother?
I think I am, good sir. I think I am.
All right, if you want to kick off the first fight for us.
All right, we'll start it off in the bantamweight division. We have Angel Pacheco. He is making his UFC debut.
Pause. 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 Fucking amateur night around here. All right, so we're going to get into the card. We're talking UFC Atlantic City, Blanchfield versus FIOROT. I say it wrong, but Andrew didn't even intro his goddamn card. Andrew, I'm just picking at you because it's my fun thing to do, bro. I hope you know that. Anyway, back to what Andrew was saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do it, like do it right. It's FIOROT, bro.
Well, at least I did it at all.
Hey, I thought we wanted to get through this card a little bit quicker.
Listen, bro, there is still a format, and you got to announce the card. Fuck.
All right, so this week we have UFC 300 in Las Vegas. I'm just kidding. Yes, Joe has already said it, so we're gonna go ahead and dive in finally. It's Angel Pacheco making his UFC debut after losing his Contender Series fight, taking on Cowlin Loughran. He lost his UFC debut to Taylor Lapilus. One of these guys has to win. Pacheco 7-2. Loughran is 8-1. Pacheco's 2 inches taller, 5'8" to 5'6". Pacheco also has a 2-inch reach advantage, and they both fight orthodox. I'm not going to read stats because it makes no sense off of one fight. Trace, do you want to start? Actually, Joe, do you have lines by chance?
I do have lines. I was fucking with the YouTube, if I'm being honest. Which fight is the opening fight, Bubba?
Pacheco and Loughran.
Look at me, fucking rookie, after I gave you all that
I
fucking
know.
shit, huh?
I'm not even listening over here.
Yeah, we're trying to step up some production over here, and we're getting ready to hit a few channels. Pacheco it's been reporting for 11 days. It's hit 32 books right now. The average odds on Pacheco over those 32 books is plus 270. And Lauren, how do you say that? Lauren?
Cowlin Loughran.
Logren is minus 357. Again, that's over 32 books. The best odds you can find on Longren are minus 333. Holy fuck. There's no money on that guy. And the best odds that you are going to find on Pacheco are so far down the line. It is not a book you would bet with. Plus 310. That's all I got.
Yeah, so you got the wrestler versus the boxer for the most part. I mean, Callum Walker does have some boxing, but he's mostly a grappler. Yeah, I like the over on this fight. I'm really not gonna get too invested in this fight. I think Lager wins, but at minus 350, there's nothing really valuable there. Take the overs. Fight goes to a decision. I think if Collins able to use his wrestling and get him down, I think you see him take Pacheco for a ride over and over again. I think as far as DraftKings, Colin, I think he's like 9,400. He's one of the top build fighters. I think he'll be a solid pick because I think that he'll get the takedowns and the control time, possibly a late finish. But I think this fight goes to decision. So yeah, I like the overs and the fight goes to decision. I think that's a solid take for it. Anybody else got anything on this fight? I do think it's going to be a dogfight. Like I said, if Pacheco's able to stuff the takedowns and keep this fight standing, he's got a real chance of putting the combos on him. Guy, he does have some nice boxing. I just think that overall the better mixed martial artist is Colin, and then he'll be able to put a pressure and a pace on him that Pacheco might fold underneath. But I don't think the fight gets finished. Za, what you got?
Yeah, I like the Lauren side. I think I'm gonna add it as a parlay piece, but I'm gonna wait closer to the fight to bet it.
Yeah, fair enough. I think he balloons up though, but you never know. People may come in and see the value on him and think that maybe Colin either gasses or the Pacheco's able to stuff the takedowns. But I don't know. You might lose value, but we'll see. Nobody else got to take. Usman, what you got?
Over, locker room by decision.
I like it. Fair enough. All right, Andrew. What's next?
Next, we're going to the middleweight division. We have the grapplers. We've got Andre Petrosky taking on Jacob Malkoun. Andre is coming off of a loss, as well as Malkoun, so someone's got to win. Hopefully, it's not a theme for the rest of this card. We will find out, right? Petrosky's 10-3. Malkoun is 7-3. Petrosky will be bigger, 6 foot to 5'9". However, they do have the same reach at 73 inches. Petrosky fights switch, and Malkoun is an orthodox fighter. If we go to the stats, Andre puts out 3.6 strikes per minute, takes back 3. Malkoun puts out 3.8 and takes back 2.5. If we go to the grappling stats, Petrosky averages 4.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. Malkoun averages 7 takedowns per 15 minutes. That's a lot. Let's see. Takedown defense, 71% for Petrosky and 0 for Jacob Malkoun. So apparently he's never defended a takedown before. You have 2 grapplers. I was getting ready to say this might end up being a standing affair, but if one guy has 0% takedown defense, this might go to the ground. Joe, do you have odds on this?
I do have odds on this one. So this one's reporting 12 days late now, over 35 books. Petrosky is at plus 181. Malkoun is at minus 233. Those are the global averages, guys. Our site does something pretty cool. I know some people are copying it now, but it'll tell you the average. So those are global averages. Those are not the exact odds you're going to find at your books. The rounds seem to be set at 2.5, with the over at minus 170 and the under at plus 140. I like to play over under parlays. This one will not make the over under parlay. It might get the alt. I may play the over 1.5 depending on what the line is on that. But that's really my only betting interest in this card. Trace.
Yeah, man, I like Malkoun in this fight, but I think this fight's a live one to go to a split decision. Honestly, I think Petrosky could come out here and win round 1, and even have parts of round 2 where he's winning if the pace isn't pushed too hard in the first. But if we see these guys grapple and start wrestling early, I think Petrosky's gonna gas pretty quickly. Uh, I do think that Malkoun has a slight edge on the feet. I think he might be the better striker. Petrosky's just more of a more powerful striker with a little bit more of a more dangerous jiu-jitsu game. Realistically, I think if Petrosky wins this fight, it's got to be in the first round. But because I think after that, the pace and the pressure for Malkoun is to be too much. But he could definitely catch him in the first round for sure. Like I said, I do like the splits because, like I said, I think this fight goes to a decision more likely than not. And like I said, I can see Petrosky having moments in round 1 and in round 2 before he starts kind of fading. So I can see where it goes to a split. So I don't know if we have a split line, but I'd like to know what the number on that would be. And I'm sure Usman will have a stats on it a little bit later in the week if he doesn't have them already. But yeah, I think it'll be a good one to target for sure. Uh, Actually, if you're good to roll into it, Usman, roll into it real quick.
Yeah, man. So I'm feel real discouraged with picking a side on this fight. I think yes, Malkoun should be the side on. Shout out the Sunday show if y'all were there. I went ahead and said like Malkoun is gonna be the guy that's not gonna stand and bang with you. He's gonna keep on trying to go to his bread and butter, which is wrestling against a wrestler with good jujitsu as well. I think this is gonna be a tough one, like you said. Petrosky can come out and take the lead early, goes to split plus 400. That hits our criteria to hit the over. Goes the distance minus 150. You know how well and how high rate percentage chance they hit on the over. I'm not fucking picking a side. I'm gonna hit the over. And if some fucking nuke or submission happens out of nowhere and we get burned, hey, we get burned. But very high chance that this goes over.
Yeah, I like that a lot. 450 or 400 or 450. That's some decent value on it as well. For something I think is probably happens at a high clip. So, in Fuego, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I think Andrew said Malkoon's coming off a loss. That deserves some context. I think that was that fight against goofball Brundage, where he won the Oscar, and faked an
Yeah,
injury. But
100% is.
anyway, I think we shouldn't overthink this one. Um, Petrosky wants to stand and bang on the feet. We have never seen Malkoon stand and bang on the feet. Um, I think I read today he's tried 70 takedowns in the UFC and he's got 31 of them. I mean, the guy's a beast in the wrestling department. I see a Carl Williams against Tafa kind of thing where he just takes him down repeatedly and lays on him for 15 minutes. Now, would I play minus 200 on Jacob Malkoon against Petrosky? No, I wouldn't. So maybe a Malkoon by decision or over 2.5 or goes the distance is the right way to do it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Um, yeah, but it's gonna be an interesting fight for sure. Joe, what do you got on this fight?
Oh, bro, I had to walk away. My son's having an issue right now, bro.
You're good. You're good. We'll get you back off the mic. Andrew, what do we have next?
We're going to the flyweight division. We have Victoria Dudakova taking on Melissa Gatto. Victoria is coming off of a 2-fight win streak, winning both of her first 2 UFC fights. Unfortunately, the first one, Estella broke her arm in the first 30 seconds, but we did see a little bit of her against Jin Yu Fry. Melissa Gatto is coming off of a 2-fight losing streak, however, to pretty good competition in Lipsky and Cortez. Victoria is undefeated as a mixed martial artist, 8-0. Gatto is 8-2-2. They are both 5'5". However, Melissa Gatto has a 2-inch reach advantage, 69-67. They do both fight orthodox. Victoria puts out 3 strikes a minute, takes back 2.5. Gatto puts out 4 and takes back 3. If we go to the grappling, Victoria averages 2.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. She has 50% takedown defense, and Gatto averages 1 per 15 minutes and has 63% takedown defense. If Joe is available, he'll have odds. If not, Trace, go ahead.
Yeah, I got you. I just sat back down. Which fighter is this?
Gatto and Dudakova.
Oh, I'm right here. All right, so this fight is reporting over. Goddamn, charts are popping up. 11 books or 34 books for the past 11 days they have piled in. Gatto is at minus 161 average, and Dudakova is plus 130. The over is set at 2.5 at minus 200. I will play the over in this fight. Yeah, this is easy over for me. Yeah, I do think that Melissa Gatto probably can finish some girls, but I don't think she finishes Dudakova. That's all I got on this one. Over to Trace.
Yeah, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I think Dudakova is worth a dog shot on this fight, but I'm not going to pick a side. I think the over is the way to go here. Over goes to decision. Fight starts round 3. Everything, whatever you want to pick, whatever you find value in. Uh, yeah, I think it's going to be a decision. But I would in the women's divisions. There's not many girls like Denise Gomes that just has that one punch power to put girls to sleep out there. Dudakova is a striker for the most part. Uh, yeah, I think this fight's going to be a lot of standing in front of each other, a lot of striking, and then yeah, the clock just ticks away. So I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Over. Usman.
Another fight where I just really don't want to pick a side. I like both of these girls. I'm not gonna hold the last performance of Dudakova against her because she should have finished Junior Fry. But hey, butthole staff, it'll fuck with you, man. I've never had it, but staff in the butthole, not really good. Um, just we're looking at the ghost to split strat. It hits all criteria again. Minus 200 over. Minus 180 goes the distance. Plus 275 goes to split. That's easy money. The only thing I'm afraid of is Gato finding that sub somewhere. Dudakova has shown sometimes to where she wants to go to the ground, and I feel like she'll leave that arm out there. Fucking Gato is a big, lanky ass girl who scares me. So yeah, Over. Average. Tell me you got something different than the over.
I've just got Victoria by decision. I think she could be a decent prospect here. I haven't got a whole lot.
Fuego.
Yeah, take away the skills of these two women. It looks like the public is on Dudakova and the sharps are on Gatto. And Gatto opened up as a dog and has moved up to minus 155 or whatever it is. So take that with a grain of salt and do what you want with it.
Stat movers. Let's go. If nobody else got nothing on it, Andrew, we'll move on.
All right, we're gonna go to the light heavyweight division. We have Ebo Aslan taking on the Pleasure Man, Anton Turkalj. Ebo Aslan won his Contender Series fight very quickly, so he is making his UFC debut. Turkalj is coming off of a 3-fight losing streak. Aslan is 12-1. Turkalj is 8-3. Turkalj has a 1 inch in height, 6'4" to 6'3", as well as a 1 inch reach advantage, 78 to 77. They both fight orthodox. There's no point in reading stats. Ebo Aslan only has one fight on here, so there's no point. So this one will be quick. Joe, what do you got on this one for odds?
Man, I know I should be looking at them, but I really am trying to figure out some of this tech shit over here. Turkalj. All right, so this fight is reporting over 32 books. They've piled in for 11 days. Turkalj is 34 books. Turkalj is plus 105 on average. Ebo is minus 130. The over is set at 1.5, minus 105. The under is minus 125. So taking the minus 105 on the over is actually the better odds. That's the dog pick. I'll throw it over to Trace on this one, and then Trace, I'll take it back when you're done.
Yeah, man, I'm on the Pleasure Man here, bro. These guys have already fought before. He submitted Ebo in the second round. He gassed, and the Pleasure Man was still there after the 2 rounds to get the submission. And I think we'll see something similar here. But either way, I think that the safest way to play this fight would be the under, man. Almost, or well, actually, all of Ebo's fights have been finishes. Turkalji's only been to 2 decisions in his entire career. They fought already. The fight ended in the second round. I think the under is a pretty good play here. Fight doesn't start round 3. I'd even take a shot on fight doesn't start round 2. You probably get good odds on that. And I'm also I'm taking a look at playing Turkalj by sub rounds 1 or 2 on FanDuel. If it's a good number, I'll probably take that as well. But yeah, I think the under is probably a good play here. Joe, what you got?
A repeat of what you said, definitely on the under. I think the under 1.5 is probably fuck. I hate the word safe play when you say under, but as far as unders go, I think it's pretty safe one. It's under or goes to decision. It sucks for the last 5 fucking minutes. We all know how that goes. I don't put a lot of stock in Turkalj. If you're betting money line on either one of these guys, I would take Ebo. I looked Ebo up before. I don't think he's the greatest as far as like technical, but he is big as fuck and strong as hell. And yeah, I just like I haven't been. The best thing that Turkalj has done that I can recall is go the distance with Petroni. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. That's all I got.
Fuego.
Yeah, 3 men have tried, and 3 men have succeeded in beating the Pleasure Man in the UFC. But despite that, Aslan opened as a minus 250. He's down to minus 125. Despite the public and the sharps being all over Aslan. So do with that what you want. I will say debut fighters in the UFC are 11-10 this year, minus $549. So this is a loser. This is a Turkalj goes home if he loses. This is it for the Pleasure Man. So I don't know. Gun to my head, I would take the Pleasure Man.
I like it. I like it, man. It's yeah. If he's hungry, he's going to show up in this fight here. So we'll see. Andrew, what's next?
Headed over to the featherweight division again. We have Dennis Bazooka taking on Connor Matthews. Dennis Bazooka is 11-4, coming off of 2 losses. Connor Matthews is 7-1, coming off of a win in his Contender Series fight, his second Contender Series fight, because he lost the first one to Fire Francis Marshall. So he is making his UFC debut. Bazooka is 5'9", Connor Matthews 5'8". Matthews has a 1-inch reach advantage, 71-70. They both fight switch, which is very interesting. I'm not going to read stats off. Doesn't make much sense to do that one. Joe, what you got, bro?
Over on the odds, we have Connor Matthews at minus. I just had it up, man. I'm fucking doing everything else for this shit tonight. Connor Matthews is plus 102 over 35 books, and Dennis is minus 127. 11 days on the odds. That's pretty much when everything on this card posted. I'm pretty familiar with Connor Matthews personally. Not personally, like I know him personally, just for whatever reason, I have watched him fight. Like I've seen a few of his fights, his highlight reels. Like I know who Connor Matthews is. Like he's a fucking UFC fighter. I don't know why some of these guys you just remember and then you see them and then their highlights come and you remember their name. I don't know why some guys more than others, but Connor Matthews is one that sticks out to me. I don't think he has much problem getting this one done, if I'm being honest. The fact that he's at plus money is surprising to me. It's only plus 103 or 102 on the average, so he's probably minus money at some places. Oh, yeah, minus 107, minus 102, minus. Okay, so they're, this is a pick 'em fight. I wouldn't guess it as a pick 'em. I would take Connor on this fight with pretty easily. I'll probably play him in the parlay as a money line. Trace.
I don't really have much in this fight, man. But whenever I seen guys talking in the space or in the group about it before I did tape, for some reason my mind registered Jake Matthews and Dennis Bazooka. I was like, and they were saying like it's a close fight, but Dennis Bazooka probably edges it out. I was like, man, I feel like Jake Matthews would whoop his ass. Makes a little more sense now. Jake Matthews and Connor Matthews aren't the same person. Yeah, I don't have much on this fight. I feel like Bazooka's probably the side with maybe possibly a late round submission after a dog fight. But don't have a real take on this fight. Probably the over is what I would look at. But yeah, I don't have much on this one actually. Anybody else?
If Matthews gets him down, he will submit him. It won't be. He won't. He won't last it. I don't care about that shit. Where he's got up from the ground before. I just want to say that to you. Like I truly believe if Connor Matthews gets him to the ground, it's fucking over.
All right. If nobody else has anything on this fight, we'll move forward. Then Andrew, what you got?
We're staying in the featherweight division. We have Julio Arce taking on Herbert Burns. Julio is 18-6, coming off of a loss. Herbert Burns is 11-4, also coming off of a loss. 2 losses. So someone's got to win here, gentlemen. Julio Arce is 5'7", Burns is 5'9". Arce has a 70-inch reach. Burns has a 73-inch reach. Arce fights southpaw, and Burns is an orthodox.
Just stop there. Stop there. I'm not being a dick, bro. Come on. This is fucking Julio Arce and Herbert Burns. Just stop, bro. Herbert is plus 299 over 32. Julio Arce is minus 417. Yes, there is some freak world where Herbert Burns pulls out a W, but this is fucking free money Julio this weekend, bro. Like, if he's not in your parlay, you fucked up. I will throw it over to Trace, but there is just no fucking cap needed for this fight. Go ahead, Trace.
Jesus, the confidence. Love it.
Yeah, I mean it's Herbert Burns sub round 1 or Julio Arce round 2, 3 KO. I mean, like, there's a world where he could survive, but like Herbert Burns' gas tank is so bad. Like he's not he has no dog in him. He's not a full time fighter. He's not gonna go through the fire. He doesn't have that same dog his brother has. He's yeah, I don't know what he's doing in the UFC. He's dangerous as fuck in the first round, especially in submission games. I mean, he did knock out Nathan Train Landwehr, who's also on this card, but that was I'm not gonna say it's a fluke. It was a knee that he landed, but that's not really his bread and butter. If he doesn't get the submission in round one, he probably peters out and dies off from exhaustion. So the Arce KO round 2 or 3 is probably a pretty easy bet if it doesn't happen at the end of round one. Um, DraftKings, I'm all over Julio Arce in this fight. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no hands, bro. There's because nobody. It's everybody's gonna say the same shit. Andrew, I'm sorry, Trace. Andrew, what's next?
Oh, no apologies. Let's go. Like I said, this is gonna be a quick card, man. Like some of these fights. This fight doesn't really inspire betting for me. I'm mostly on overs and unders for this card if I'm taking anything in DraftKings. But like as far as straight bets, probably not too many. Andrew, what's next?
Andrew like ghosted.
Man, so I walked over here to the mall because Google said that the mall was still open so I can get some fucking mall Chinese food. And my dumbass is standing in a completely empty mall. This bitch is closed. Y'all know because we're all so confident in Julio Arce getting the finish. It's gonna be Herbert fucking Burns by damn sub in round one. We're all gonna be like, fuck, why did we put this piece of shit on our parlays?
That's not real life, bro. That's not what's gonna happen.
Oh, it's happened before, buddy. We know it.
That's not what's gonna happen. Stop that. We're not. We're
Usman,
not
calm
talking.
down, bro. You sound so angry. You need to relax, man.
He's some,
I thought it was getting mall
something
Chinese
about an
food,
empty
man.
mall, no Chinese food.
I gotta say, if I ever eat at the mall, which is rare, I would never get Chinese food.
You don't know about that General Tso's chicken, boy.
Ugh. It's probably not even chicken if it's at the mall, bro. Let's be real.
That dog tastes good as
Of
shit.
course, Andrew said it.
Oh man. All right, we're moving on to this one. This is my favorite fight of the night. So if Joe cuts me off on this one, I'm gonna find him. We have Verna Jandiroba taking on Lupi Godinez. Let's go. Verna is 19-3. Lupi is 12-3. Verna is coming off of a 2-fight win streak. Lupi is coming off of a 4-fight win streak. They are pretty similar in size. Verna is 1 inch taller, 5'3" to 5'2". Has a 3-inch reach advantage, 64 inches to 61. They do both fight orthodox and they do both average high fight times. Verna, 11 and a half minutes, Lupi, 13 minutes. If we go to the stats, Verna puts out 2.3 stats per minute, takes back 3. Lupi puts out 4.3, takes back 3.76. If we go to the grappling department, Verna takes down 2.4 times per 15 minutes with a 73% takedown defense. And Lupi is at 3.39 takedowns per 15 minutes with an 86% 86% takedown defense. Boys, I'm excited for this one. I think it could go either way, to be completely honest. It's funny because I always hesitate just because Lupi's not always the smartest, but she finds a way to win every single time. I'm biased on this one, guys. I can't be too objective about this one. I'm going with my heart on this one. Let's go, Lupi. Trace, what you got, bro?
Can
Yeah,
you
man.
guys hear me? Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
just
Trace.
no, you're
Sorry.
good.
I fucking lost everything. I heard Andrew start talking and everything went out.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't fucking around, bro.
All right,
I
bro. I
kicked you
see how
out.
it is. I see how it is.
All right. So for this one, I'm on Loopy. Yep. I feel like it's pretty simple with Cap here. Loopy should have the better grappling. She should be the stronger fighter. She should have the better striking. If this fight stalemates in the wrestling, I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of takedowns, but I do think the takedowns will be on the Loopy side. I think there should be a lot of clinching probably against the fence in this fight, where Loopy will be controlling. So yeah, give me Loopy by decision, the overs, yeah, all that, all the good stuff. I don't think there's a finish in this fight. Um, I would take a shot on. I don't know what the line is, but Loopy to have to have more takedowns. Whatever the takedown is, the takedown if it's over 0.5 or over 1.5, I feel like she could probably get 1 or 2 takedowns. But yeah, I feel like she's definitely the side. I don't know what the line is on it, but I would definitely take Loopy all day by decision. In Fuego, I think you had your hand up first.
Yeah, despite Loopy's getting better at takedowns, she hasn't done it much lately. And we all like Jandaroba. She's awesome to watch and this and that. I just think this is a bad matchup for Verna. I mean, Loopy is gonna kill her on the feet. She's a better wrestler. Verna's got one path, right? That's it. So for those of you guys that are stat junkies, I keep track of this stuff. Coming into fighters that have a better than 50% path to victory, which is Loopy is hitting 72% on the year. It was 79% in 2023. So Loopy by decision is minus 110 right now, fits in that category. I don't know. I just think she stuffs some takedowns and win the striking battle.
So the Loopy by decision was minus 110 right now.
Yeah, that's what I have from Bet
Oh
Online.
man, that's solid. I mean, that's. I mean, it's not plus money, but like I feel like that's how this fight goes. Like I said, I feel like she might get a few takedowns, but I don't think she gets too many. And I don't think she's going to submit Jenny Roba. I don't know if she has the power to really put her away on the feet, but dude, Verna's there to be hit.
Yeah, you got Verna by decision plus 285. So
Yeah,
those are the two top path to victory.
yeah, pick your side on that one. But if you're on, it's probably going to decision most likely. But as far as DraftKings, I know Loopy is one of the higher salaries for DraftKings because I don't think she's going to get too many takedowns. I'm not trying to pay like 9,400 for her or whatever it is. So for like DraftKings, I'm not going to be on her too much. But
That's a terrible DraftKings play.
yeah,
Jody
if
is not. She's not even going to hit 90 points or 80 points.
yeah, exactly. Unless you think she goes out there and gets like 5 or 6 takedowns, there's very, very low chance she pays off her salary. So I'm steering clear of her, but play it how you will. Better times. What do you got?
Sounds like I got it the same take as everybody else. Yeah, Loopy, her striking is just better. She's got really strong hips, and Verna's like really good at just grabbing the hips and timing that very well. And those are like the hardest takedowns to defend. And Loopy has shown that she can defend takedowns even when her opponent beats her to the hip. So this seems like it's just Loopy all day. That Loopy by decision, that's a good price. So that's definitely the best bet probably on that fight.
100% agree. Joe.
No, average was up first. Let him go.
So I'm pretty much with all you guys. I'm biased. I'm like Andrew here. I became like a big Loopy made me a big fan last year. Her performances were really really impressive, and I think she wins, and I think she wins fairly easy.
Fair. Yeah, I think it's going to be one-way traffic for sure. I just don't think she's going to have enough to get her out. Uh, yeah, especially if I'm avoiding her on DraftKings. I hope she don't have enough to get her out because then she's able to go out there and bulldoze her. I'm going to look foolish. Joe.
Man, everything's moving slow for me over here. This is fucking driving me crazy. Um, anyways, you guys are all fucking biased. You guys all love Loopy. For whatever reason, Loopy is like the greatest thing since shoestrings. Um, meh. Verna is gonna fucking bust all your parlays. That's it. Verna is gonna bust every one of them parlays. You guys are like, oh, Loopy's gonna outstrike her. I mean, yeah, but Loopy's not gonna fucking hurt her. I'm not worried about Loopy. Like on the ground, I think Loopy's very skilled. I don't think she's very strong. I think Verna is strong. So I like at worst it's a stalemate for Verna, but realistically, she probably takes Loopy's back and you guys are all going, fucking Joe, fucking Joe. She probably takes Loopy's back. I'm not even like I don't when I found out Loopy was the favorite, I was like, damn, ain't that some shit? That was how I felt.
That's definitely her path, though, Joe. You are right. That's how she's got to do it to win.
She's gonna do it. It's not how she's gotta do it. She's gonna do it. She's Loopy's not strong. I'm not being. I like Loopy just like you guys do. I didn't even go tape it. I'm like, oh, Loopy is not strong enough to fight Verna and keep her off of her back. She might do it for a round, but by the end of the second, Verna's gonna be on her fucking back. And then if it goes to the third, it'll take Verna fucking 90 seconds to be back on her back. Like, it's just, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. I could not believe that Loopy is the favorite. I'm not a huge better, so it's not like I'm going to max bet it, but I'm playing Verna in the lay. Fucking no hesitation.
I respect your resolve, sir. We shall see what happens. Andrew, what's next?
Yeah, Joe's wrong, but that's okay. Make him wrong.
Wait, hold on. Let's take it now. So who's on this fight besides me? Who's on Verna?
You might be the only one in the world, bro.
Oh, wait. Usman threw his hand up, took it down. Look at that. So he can say later, oh, I said that. That's how Usman does me, bro. He's like, no, fuck you. I said it too. Usman did not just say Vernon was gonna win. He's
Bitch, I'm putting my hand up so I can speak.
Yeah, shut up, Joe. Let the man speak.
Look, y'all know I'm resident Loopy hater. I'm out here saying Loopy because that's the joke. I will back up Joe by saying she isn't strong, and whoever said that we haven't seen her takedowns as much as often as we used to, because I've always had this complaint. She fucking will get in on a nice single, a beautiful double leg, and instead of finishing the takedown, she'll go straight up and ride a body lock and try to fucking pick you up and throw you on the ground, and she just isn't strong enough for that shit. And in fights like the fucking Luana Carolina fight, it's come back to bite her in the ass. She can come in here and she can definitely get her back taken on one of these fucking shitty takedowns. I'm not on the side. I'm gonna hit over. Joe, you won't
Wasn't that
be.
at 125 though?
That was, yes, at 125. But I mean, she still hasn't shown that she'll finish the damn good entries on a single or a double in the at 115.
Yeah,
Like,
but Verna will pull guard though. I feel like
that's
I feel like she's not going to be able to take be able to take Loopy down. But for her to win, she's got to be able to get the fight down. I think whenever they tie up in the clinches in desperate attempts to get her to the ground just to be able to have a chance to win the fight, I think she will pull guard.
I think there are opportunities for Verna to sweep from underneath too. Like, Loopy gets real into it when it comes to fucking overextending on strikes and ground strikes, and there will be her opportunities to go for a leg and then cause a scramble and get on top.
And you can say Loopy's not strong, but I think she's strong enough to where Verna won't be able to get her down, and we'll get
Cynthia
desperate to get her.
Cavella took her down.
Who?
Yeah,
Who took her down?
Cynthia
Yeah.
Calvin.
See who? Cynthia Cavello took her down, bro. Do
Bro,
not tell
don't
me she's.
disrespect Cynthia Calvillo like that. Come on, man.
Come
They're,
on,
they're
bro.
saying, huh, what? Because you said the name wrong, fool.
Who cares? Who fucking cares? That's how much it matters.
Who's average? Is that your real cackle, fool?
Yes.
I fucking love it.
Do
Should be
you
in a movie.
do you really unmute? Do you really unmute just to laugh in the mic?
Yeah, I
Tito?
do
Come
all the
on.
time. Fuck you guys. I don't care.
Nah.
You're gonna hear it. Yeah.
And Fuego.
Anyways, you guys are
Hey,
crazy. Luffy's gonna lose. You're all gonna be mad as fuck, and you're gonna call me names. You're gonna call me names, but not in the space. On Saturday when I'm not there, you're gonna call me names. It's okay.
I
It's
think
okay.
Loopy. I think Loopy's going to have a good home field advantage too in Atlantic City. Big Hispanic population in New Jersey. I expect them to
That
come
doesn't
out.
help him fight, man.
Well, come on, come on. They're going to be out in full force. They're not going to cheer for Verna over Loopy.
I don't know, bro. Verna's not finna lose this. Y'all are crazy.
Have you guys been to a fight where Loopy's fought before in person? It's unbelievable. The crowd loves her.
Yeah, there's just fighters that are like that. I've been
Yeah,
to a bunch of
yeah.
fights. There's just
I
I tell
expect
people
that. Yeah, I expect there
people
to be a
about
pop
fighters all the
for.
time.
It'll be a good fight.
Andrew, what you got next?
Dude, I feel like this should just be renamed UFC Fight Night Featherweight Division because almost all these fights are featherweight fights. Because that's where we're staying, man. That's where we're staying. We have Nate the Train Landwehr taking on Pretty Boy Jamal Emmers. Landwehr is 17-5. He's coming off of a loss to Dan Ige. That is not a bad loss at all. Jamal Emmers is coming off of a win against Dennis Bazooka, who will be fighting just a fight or two below him. Let's see. Nate Landwehr is 5'9". Jamal is 5'10". Nate has a 72-inch reach. Jamal has a 74-inch reach. They do both fight orthodox. On the feet, they both have a lot of volume as well. Nate puts out 6 strikes a minute, takes back 5.5. Jamal puts out 5 and takes back 3.79. If we go to the grappling stats, Nate averages a takedown per 15 minutes with 86% takedown defense, and Jamal averages about 2 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 90% takedown defense. I think we have a fun fight ahead of us. Anytime Nate fights, it's always exciting. Joe, do you have odds on this?
I do have odds on this. So this fight is reporting over. Fuck, I was slipping, bro. 34 books they've been piling on for 11 days. Emmers was minus 270. Nate is plus 173. Best odds you can find on Nate are plus 186. Those are found at Bet Online, Low Vig, and maybe a few other books if I scroll over. Best odds you can find available on Emmers are minus 192 at Betfair. That beats the shit out of the average at minus 217. So if you do bet with Betfair and you like Emmers, that's the place to hammer him right now. I can't be the only person. Like, I'm actually not betting this fight. I just feel like I can't be the only person that sees path for Nate Landwehr here. Trace, go ahead.
Nate the Train. Nate the Train. Oh, Nate gonna whoop that ass. Nate gonna get up in that ass, boy. Nate gonna cook that motherfucker. He gonna wrestle the shit out of him, beat him up, and make that motherfucker quit round 2 or 3. Nate's gonna whoop the shit out of Jamal Emmers. Jamal wants a pretty fight, and Nate's not gonna give it to him. Nate's gonna walk that man down, get in his face, grab that leg, take him down, beat him up, and pick him, and stand back up and do it all over again until that man quits. Nate the Train, baby, we got him. We got him. Put the money on him. And Fuego, what you got?
In this economy, who's going to lay minus 220 on Jamal Emmers? Right? I mean, I can see Emmers dominating round 1, and then he does something you guys haven't mentioned yet how stupid of a fighter this guy is. He always slips on a banana peel in round 2 and 3 and does something crazy. And I can see it in this fight where he just gasses himself out, and Nate the Train comes on mid round 2 and into round 3 and just beats the dog shit out of him. I mean, there's no way you can lay minus 220 on Jamal Emmers over Nate Landwehr.
We're gonna see a tired Jamal Emmers take a shot and Nate Landwehr throw a knee and just gonna connect, baby. I think Nate Landwehr gets him out of there.
Yeah, bro.
But
So I just want to.
I
Oh,
think
sorry.
Emmers gives him every chance to get him out of there as well. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so like I'm not gonna overact on it. Like I didn't feel as strongly as you do about it, but when I hear you feel that strongly about it, it makes me feel much better. I think fight goes the distance. No is an easy one here. I don't think this one sees the distance, no matter how it ends. But man, I just feel like Nate's got the grind in him. Like,
I was
yeah,
just gonna say, if you're gonna bet a dog on a card, who got more dogs than Nate Landwehr? That's your
yeah,
dog.
he's one of these Darren Elkins type guys where when you see the right matchup for him, you know he's just gonna grind the fuck out of that guy. And
But way better than Darren Elkins.
Yeah,
yeah, but
don't
what I'm
disrespect Nate like that.
yeah, bro, but we've made money on Darren Elkins because when he gets the right matchup, you know there's just no way that motherfucker can go with him because he's gonna do what he's supposed to do every single time.
I just feel like Nate's that guy. I was just questioning, like, damn, people must really think Nate's gonna run out there and get knocked out. Like, that was the only thing that I could, like, I was like, damn, maybe I'm just missing there. Maybe people just really think Nate's gonna
He
run out
could,
there and get
he could
knocked
go out
out.
there and get caught cold. I mean, Emirates is definitely long for the division. But
But
yeah,
like,
I just
other than that, I just don't see why people would be on
well,
Emmers. But like,
it's
I
that knockout.
questioned it because
He's
I'm
coming off
like,
that. He's coming off that big knockout win.
yeah. So like, even I questioned it. I'm like, yeah, all right, he's probably the knockout upside, but Nate is the side everywhere else. I don't know. Nate will make the lay for sure. I'm gonna throw it over to Better Times for me. I don't know who was first, but Better can get it.
Y'all are fucking tripping. What the hell, man? Come on, y'all. Jamal Emmers is top level. Now, I'm not saying Nate isn't top level, but it's more about his toughness, and his striking is not going to compete with Jamal Emmers. Yeah, he's longer, but he's one of the few fighters that knows how to use his length. Also, he knows how to keep he knows how to keep his range, and he knows how to not get hit. For the most part, if you're like on a level with him, then that's kind of just hard to be defensive that whole time. But with Landwehr style, never forget when he throws, his chin is just there. Jamal is going to touch him up on the feet. The wrestling, I don't think Landwehr is going to get the better of Jamal Emmers. So this is going to be Jamal all day. I do not think he's going to get the knockout. He has the cardio to go 3 rounds. So it's just going to be Jamal by decision.
Hey, I'm just because I know Better will get this. I'm just gonna go out there and say, bro, it's gonna look a lot like Nate by heel hook, bro. I'm just saying, it's gonna look a lot like Nate by heel hook. Average, go ahead.
I'm excited for this one. I'm a big Nate the Train fan. He's probably one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. So I've kind of got bias in this one. I think he gets it done. I actually think he looked really good against Ige, despite losing. I think he might get hurt early, might lose the first round, like some of you guys were suggesting, but I think he'll turn it on like really heavy round 2, round 3. He might get the stoppage late in round 3. Oh, by the way, his mama didn't raise no bitch.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, that footwork is something else. Nate's not going to be able to fuck with that footwork of Emmers.
Yeah, but
In round one.
footwork doesn't have that big of a factor when you're on the
It
ground.
does when you have really. Oh, come on, bro. You can't tell me. Come on, bro. Jamal Emmers can wrestle.
I was just fucking with you, bro. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
See, that's what happens. Better you come around, we get to know you a little bit, and then that means we like you, bro.
I know there's just some things you can say that is gonna get a reaction. Anyways, I'm done. That's it. He did I will say this about Jamal Emmers real quick. The guys that he has lost to have all been top talent. He doesn't lose to fucking bums. I will say that. But that's all I'll say for him.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Pat Sabatini ain't the greatest thing in the world. Andrew, what's next?
Bro, Sabatini got a good record and he's a great submission guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, plus that was just a fuck up on his part. I don't know why the fuck he did that whole thing. Let me just play with his feet.
Andrew, what you got?
We're gonna finally change divisions. We're gonna go to the welterweight division, and if I'm not mistaken, this should be the fight to start the main card.
You are
We
correct.
have Chidi Bang Bang and Jokuani taking on Reese McKee. Chidi is 22-10 with a no contest. Reese is 13-5-1. Both of them are coming off of losses. Both of them are coming off of 2 losses. Both of them are coming off of 3 losses. So,
How is this on the main card?
someone has to win this fight. Chidi averages about 8 minutes of fight time. Reese McKee averages 11 minutes of fight time. Chidi has a 1-inch height advantage, 6'3" to 6'2". Chidi has a 2-inch reach advantage, 80 to 78, and they both fight orthodox. If we go to the stats, Chidi puts out 4 strikes per minute, takes back 3.1. Reese puts out 6 per minute and takes back 9.5. I'm not going to read the grappling stats because these guys don't grapple. I will say, though, Chidi and Jokawani has a 67% takedown defense and Reese has 33, but it seems like this fight's going to be standing. Joe, do you have the odds on this, my friend?
I do have the odds on this fight. So Chitty is minus 147 and McKee is plus 118. That's 33 books that have been reporting for as deep as only 11 days. Yeah, I'll just throw this over to Trace. I don't even feel like we did. This is fuck this fight. Trace.
Yeah, man, this is a hard one for me to pick which side I want to go with. Chitty definitely is very dangerous in the round one. I kind of want to see how he looks with the weight cut because he is coming down to 170 from 185. So I don't know how drawn out he's going to be. He already doesn't have the best cardio, so I feel like after round one he's pretty much screwed. But he hits hard. He's definitely the cleanest striker, and Reese McKee's definitely there to be hit, man. That man gets hit hard and he gets hit often. And Chitty don't need too many to put you to sleep. But for me, I usually like to go with somebody that has cardio, somebody that's typically durable. I do think if he gets hit clean, he goes to sleep. But I'm probably gonna ride with Reese McKee's side. But I like the under, man. I don't think this fight lasts very long. In Fuego.
Yeah, for you guys that follow the market, like always, Chidi jumped out to a pretty big favorite. Line went up. And then I saw on Twitter somebody asked if Chidi had polio or something because the line dropped back down like a freaking turd. And now with the public squarely on Chidi, the line's back to where it started from with the sharps on Reese McKee. So I don't know. Chidi might be coming in with an injury. That line may drop even more. So if you're a Reese guy, I would suggest you grab Reese right now because I think the line's going to drop a little bit.
So I would assume that happened because everybody thought Chitty knockout, Chitty knockout, Chitty knockout when they first heard it, and then they realized, oh, wait a minute. If he can't finish Reese McKee, he's definitely losing the decision. That's just my assumption. So
Yeah,
that's probably why it swung back, because
it's interesting, Joe. When I first saw this, I watched the market a lot. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of reminded me initially of the Billy Q fight from last week, where he jumped out to a pretty good favorite, and then the line just dropped, and you were wondering what happened to him. Is it an injury? What's going on? It turns out the sharps just were on Zalal. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I just think that we're going to see that line. What's it at right now? Minus 148. I think that could get as low as minus 130, and that it might settle between 125 and 130. So again, if you like Skeletor, then I would jump on him now.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think either one of these guys are actually bettable. I think if you've got to take a side in this fight, maybe you should call that, what is it, 1800 GAMBL. I don't know, something. There's a line, there's a place you could call if you feel like you need to bet this fight. There's a place. Better, go ahead.
Hey man, I feel like this is pretty easy. Chidi, when you throw a high pace and you're a heavy hitter, that will get Chidi. Or if you're a very strong wrestler and he's worried about the fucking takedowns, even though he has some kind of good grappling defense, but like when it comes to the high level, he's not just up to par with that. But when it comes to striking, like, bro, like it's cheating. It's Cheaty all day. Cheaty can knock this man out. I'm not impressed with whatever his name is, his striking at all. So Cheaty by knockout, like it feels pretty easy to me. I don't think this is going to be a cardio issue. Reese is not going to put that pace on him, and he's not a heavy hitter that's just going to shock him. So
Bro, what do you
it's
mean
fucking
Reese
Cheaty.
not going to put the pace on him? Do you
No,
just think that Chitty's defense is too good to let him?
no, he doesn't put that kind of pace on people. Maybe against bums, but not against
Look,
someone who's going to be able to.
Chitty had cardio issues at 185. He's dropping 15 pounds.
Against
He's gonna
who?
be he's gonna be sucked
Against
out, dude. I'm telling you, he is
Gregory
gonna fall off the cliff
Rodriguez?
cardio wise. I
Okay,
agree. He
now
should
the
be able to get him out.
170, I will agree. The 170, I wish I would have known that before. I was just going skills wise, but the 170 does worry me. So if at 170, I would not bet it at all. But I'm saying skill wise, come on, bro. Cheaty's
No,
gonna knock this
like I
motherfucker
said,
out.
I agree 100%. Like I said in the first run, if I knew he could keep up the entire fight, and I knew he wouldn't gas after a couple minutes, I would go with him because I think he could get him out of there if he gets him clean a few times, and I think he's there to be hit. But I just somebody that's durable that does have the cardio, I can't pass that up, especially at dog money.
Do you guys think Cheaty's going to make weight?
I honestly don't. Like I said, I would kind of wait to the weigh-in to see what's going on before I bet it. But yeah, I don't think he makes weight.
But y'all do like realize he's gonna. It's not like if he's going to hit him clean multiple times. Do you really think Reese is gonna be able to stand up to that? We
I
know
mean,
how deadly his striking is.
Depends on how high. Sorry, my phone closed on me. Depends on how dehydrated he is, man. He might not have that power.
Yeah, I just wish it wasn't at 170. I'd be on Chitty all day, bro.
Agreed. Agreed.
I mean, better. Reese only does have two of his losses are by KO. Only two losses that but one of them is to Chimaev. So
Are y'all impressed with the striking?
no, I'm
Like,
not
come on.
impressed with I'm not impressed with either guy.
Sometimes you can't just go with the guy you're impressed with. Sometimes you got to go with the guy who is durable and can be there the entire 15 minutes just in case you can't get him out. You can't always go with the home run hitter.
I know, but when it comes to something like I don't see Reese like standing. I don't know how to say it, bro. I'm
Bro,
not
I could
impressed
I
with
could
Reese at
talk
all.
myself in I could talk myself I could talk myself into a Derrick Henry knockout prop on every fight, brother. I'm telling you, I could do it.
All
Andrew,
right, yeah.
what you got next?
Um, we're gonna go back to the featherweight division because that's what we've been doing all fucking night. We have the guy with the coolest nickname in the UFC, Senor Perfecto, Bill Algeo, taking on Kyle Nelson. Bill Algeo is 18-7. He has a 2-fight win streak right now. Kyle Nelson is 15-5-1, and he's also coming off of a 2-fight win streak. So someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. Bill Algeo averages 13 minutes of fight time. Kyle averages about 11 and a half minutes. Bill Algeo is just an inch taller, 6 foot to 5'11", 2-inch reach in favor of Bill Algeo. They do both fight switch. Algeo puts out 6 strikes per minute, takes back 4.4. Kyle averages 3.4 and takes back 4.5. If we go to the grappling, it's not too much. Bill averages almost a takedown per 15 minutes with 56% takedown defense. Kyle Nelson averages 1 takedown per 15 minutes with 73% takedown defense. Joe, do you have odds on this?
Yes, I do. I do have to switch back over. I was trying to look at something over on our YouTube there. Let Trace go. I'll hit the odds after. My bad, bro. I was totally on our YouTube right
Hey,
now.
I
My
gotta go,
bad.
guys. I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, take it easy.
Hey, thanks for stopping in. We'll see. We'll
Have a good
talk to
one.
you soon.
Yeah, let me get a double double, no onions, with a lemonade on the side. Thank you.
You got to get it animal style, bro. Got to go animal style.
The fuck out of here. Anyways,
Hey, we
Trace.
can talk in and out all night, bro. I'm with it. Trace, you there?
I got a crazy kid. Hang on a second.
All right, for sure. Does anyone have a okay? Better, you got to take on this. What you got?
Yeah, man. I feel like this is a. I thought after hearing those stats, I think I might go differently, because let's be honest. Like Bill Algeo, aside from like the I don't know if it's his takedown defense or if he just allows himself to be taken down, because it seems like he doesn't try when it comes to takedowns. But as far as his striking goes, like his his picking of strikes and keeping them diverse and just everything. I feel like everything is better with fucking Bill Algeo. And I'll countless and say Bill Algeo by decision, but after hearing that stats, maybe it's fucking Bill Algeo inside the distance. I don't know, man. But yeah, I think everything is on the side of Bill Algeo. I mean, aside from the leg kicks, he's got to do something about the leg kicks because Kyle will go for the legs. But I think other than that, he's shown that he could take them and keep moving.
Yeah,
Did he cut out for everybody else?
he cut out just at the end, but he got it all out. I mean, yeah, it's hard to disagree. Bill Algeo, you've obviously seen him get better as his career's gone on. He's started to incorporate more of the grappling, at least offensively. So he seems to be getting better. He does have a problem with getting backpacked. However, with this fight, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I really feel like he has the edge in the grappling department. And like Better just said, I feel like he can outstrike him too.
Guys,
Man, we gotta stop sleeping. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
um, I just wanted to apologize when Andrew went to me. I'm just now starting to get on the YouTube as we stream, and I was doing some edit stuff over there. I can be live in there while Deadpix is live in there. I just figured out he probably didn't even know I was in there. We're trying to get to a few more platforms here, so apologies for that. Bill Algeo is minus 233 over 33 books, and Kyle Nelson is plus 184. If I wouldn't have been on the YouTube and I would have been in sync with the space, I would have just told you not to talk about this fight. Um, Fucking Kyle Nelson sucks. He only beats people that sucks. Uh, my favorite one is when people are like, "He beat Builder." Builder's not good. Um, Builder never beat anybody good. Uh, I don't give a fuck about any of that dumb shit. Yeah, this is easy cap. LGO at minus 233 is like a great bet in my opinion because he should probably be fucking minus 400. I feel very strongly about that. This is just fucking easy work on this one. Trace, my bad for cutting you off, but go ahead.
Oh no, you're good, man. I like the over here, man. I think we had to quit sleeping on Kyle Nelson. He may be Canadian. I know we know he fake Canadians, but he's a tough little fucker. Yeah, I think he can make it to the decision. I think the overs here are good. Don't have the biggest side, just take the over. But at dog money, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Kyle Nelson, a little flyer on the decision prop. Yeah, Aljo, I don't think he deserves a minus 220 price tag against many fighters. But yeah, so over. Usman.
Yeah, no, Joe stole my flow. Kyle Nelson is a shitbird. We don't bet on shitbirds around here. Last win, he wasn't supposed to win. The only thing Senor Perfecto is actually perfect at is getting his back taken, and Kyle Nelson ain't gonna do that. So, and even when he does get his back taken, he don't get finished. Don't bet on shitbirds. That's it.
All right, Andrew, on to the next one.
Bro, it's crazy how often he does get his back taken and backpacked, but he gets stuck at put in like the worst positions possible, and then he just finds these like freaky ass ways to get out of it. It's honestly like fun to watch, bro. He's such a fun guy to watch. We're gonna go to the middleweight division. So we're gonna see some bigger dudes fight. We have Nursultan Ruzabev taking on Cedricus Dumas. Nursultan is 33-8-2 with 2 no contests. Dumas is 9-1. Nursultan is coming off of a win in his debut against Fajeda, and Dumas is coming off of a 2-fight win streak as well. Let's see. Nursultan is 6-5 or 6'5". Dumas is 6'2". Dumas, although has a 3-inch reach advantage, 79-76. They do both fight orthodox. I'm not really going to read the stats off on this one. Should be an interesting fight. I'm sure Ruzabev has some pretty high stock right now, given the way he's won his last fight. I don't know if he's as good as people think he is. However, I don't think Dumas is that good at all either. And given with his recent issues outside of fighting, I'm curious to see how his training camp went. But that's all I pretty much have on this one. Joe, do you have odds on this?
Oh yeah, reporting over 33 books over the past 12 days. Cedricus is plus 207, and Nursultan, is that how it's said? I'm asking you, Andrew. You're the pronunciation guy.
This guy I'm not 100% on, but it sounds right to me.
Yeah, all right. He's minus 270. Yeah, I just mimic what you said. Uh, Not top level, came in super hot, didn't perform, didn't live up. Now he's got personal issues. Um, yeah, I total pass. Total pass. Trace.
Yeah, I think somebody doesn't make it to the final bell on this one. I tend to think it's gonna be Nerlston by submission, round 2 or round 3. We do know that Cedricus does like to wrestle as well, and he's going to put himself in the situation to get choked. And a lot of Nerlston's victories have been by submission, despite his last one being by knockout. So, yeah, I think we see somebody get finished here, and I tend to think it's probably going to be on the Cedricus side that gets finished. So, yeah, give me Nerlston. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Cedricus was going to be better than he was coming into the UFC, but we can't forget this man got submitted by oh man, I can't think of his name right now. Josh Fremd. So yeah, give me Nerlston by submission. Anybody else? All right, Andrew, what's next?
That one was quick. We will move on, but we will stay in the middleweight division. Probably the fight I'm like least excited for on this entire card. We have Chris Weidman fighting Bruno Silva. Chris is 15-7. He is coming off of 2 losses. Bruno Silva is 23-10. He is also coming off of 2 losses. Someone's got to win. Chris Weidman is 6'2". Bruno is 6 foot. Weidman has a 4-inch reach advantage, 78-74. They do both fight orthodox. Chris Weidman will be 40 years old in 3 months. Let me repeat that. Chris Weidman will be 40 years old in 3 months. Bruno Silva is 5 years younger. If we go to the stats, at least the striking stats, Weidman puts out 3 strikes a minute, takes back 3 strikes a minute. Silva puts out 4.4 strikes a minute, takes back 5.3. If we go to the grappling, Weidman averages 3.6 takedowns per 15 minutes and has 65% takedown defense. If we go over to Silva, he averages 1 takedown per 15 minutes and 73% defense. No comment. Joe, do you have odds on this?
I do have odds on this. Over 35 books. Chris Weidman is plus 219, and Bruno Silva is plus 286. Trace.
Yeah, man. I don't mind a dog shot on Chris Weidman for a decision prop. I don't think he gets the finish here if he somehow pulls off the victory. But we had a nice little excursion from our regular scheduled programming whenever Robbie Lawler went out there, and I cashed a plus 350 money line ticket on him for getting him a knockout in his retirement fight. But I think it's time we go back to reality where we see the retiring veterans going out and getting demolished. Yeah, I think Bruno Silva clips Weidman probably early in this fight. I think he probably catches him cold. Yeah, I mean, Weidman is a shell of himself. He has not been a good fighter for quite a while. He's like, I think in his last 9 fights, he's like 2-7. Yeah, not quite the All American anymore that he used to be. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think we see Weidman go out with a one last knockout on his for somebody else's highlight reel, rather. Joe, what you got?
So I already knew this was his retirement fight because it just makes sense. But is that officially announced?
I think once he gets knocked out, it'll be announced for sure.
I don't think it matters what happens. I think this is Jersey. I think this is it for him. At least at the UFC level, I think he's done. We may see him go do some karate combat or something. But I think Chris Weidman is done.
I hope not. Them knees are done for him.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I guess all I'm saying is I feel like maybe we see him compete somewhere doing something, but
I think he wants that cushy desk job, brother. He's been doing the weigh-in shows and stuff.
Dana probably says, Chris, I tell you what, I'll let you announce slap fight. Give me a season. Give me a couple slap fights. I'll give you a job, kid. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just fucking around. Usman, what you got?
Guys, I know Bruno Silva hits hard, but come on, it's Chris Weidman, and he's fighting a 125 pounder who's coming off of a neck injury, who hasn't fought in almost like 2.5 years. Bruno Silva ain't winning shit.
There's only about 35 Bruno Silvas to get him mixed up with. I love it.
And Fuego, go ahead.
Fucking Trace, you stole my thunder on this one. You stole my thunder on the fix fight of the night. Now, guys, I'm not the conspiracy guy when it comes to the UFC, and it hasn't been announced, but this has got to be Weidman's last fight. This is the only way that his crew would have talked him into taking this fight because it's in
That's
New
how
Jersey,
I felt. He stole my
right?
fucking thunder, bro.
It's
Join my
got to make
club.
sense, right? And so when I watch some of these fights, look at Kennedy and Jikwe or whatever, however you pronounce his name. That looks strange to me. The Jailton Almeida Lewis fight going the distance was very strange to me. If you see Bruno Silva get knocked out, you're going to come back in here over the week and say, "And Fuego, what the hell were you talking about? You were kind of right." I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just look out for it. But Bruno Silva has to go along with it. That's all I'll say.
All right. Anybody else have a take on this one? Usman, are you good?
He gave his take.
I just like hearing him talk sometimes, man. I like my boys give takes, brother. Calm down, Andrew. I wish you'd shut up sometimes.
Bro, I haven't even spoken that much today.
I know you said too much already.
I know, right?
Andrew, what's next, bro?
We are going to go to the welterweight division. It is co-main event time. This one I'm actually kind of excited for. It's pretty random matchmaking, but we got it, man. We have a Vicente Luque taking on Joaquin Buckley. Vicente is 22-9-1, and he is coming off of a win over Rafael dos Anjos. Joaquin Buckley is 17-6. He is coming off of a 2-fight win streak over Fialho and Morono. Vicente Luque is 5'11" to Joaquin's 5'10". Vicente has a 75-inch reach, and Joaquin has a 76-inch reach. Vicente fights orthodox, and Joaquin fights southpaw. You know I love that matchup. If we go to the stats, Vicente averages 5 strikes landed per minute, takes back 5 strikes per minute. Joaquin averages 3.87, takes back 3.3. If we go to the grappling, it's not too much. Vicente averages a takedown per 15 minutes, and per 15 minutes, 62% takedown defense. Joaquin Buckley, pretty similar, 1.5 per 15 with a 65% takedown defense. Joe, do you have odds on this, bro?
Yeah, over 37 books. Everybody's hitting on this one that you can expect for the usual suspects anyway. Minus 108 on Buckley, minus 115 on Luque. I'm sorry, 109 and 115. In the state side, it is 108, 115. Man, I have zero interest in betting Buckley fights. Yeah, I dread watching him fight. Trace, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think this should be a fight that Vicente should be able to win, man. If he goes out there and uses his wrestling like he did against RDA, he should be able to go out there and handle him pretty well. Because I mean, yeah, I think he has a sizable grappling advantage here with a potential choke finish there. But if he stays striking with him, man, I feel like Joaquin Buckley's gonna give him problems on the feet. Joaquin's quick, powerful, and I just feel like he's on the feet. He probably has the edge. I don't know why. I've always been a fan of oh man, I'm blanking on names right now. A fan of Vicente Luque, but I just feel like he's starting to get old, and the fan of me might be overriding some of the things that I should be thinking about. And but I think he should be able to get him here. I think he still has enough in the tank to get Buckley out of there. If he goes up there and wrestles first, and then lets the striking come after the wrestling, but comes out there and starts threatening the wrestling early and makes it have him thinking about that to be able to set the hands up, I think he can get him out of there pretty quickly. But if he just goes out there with a straight up, uh, I'm going to strike with you. We're going to trade shots and see who's stronger or who's still there at the end. I think the speed's going to be a problem for him out of Buckley. Usman, what you got?
Yeah, so I am not a Buckley fan. Um, I should probably get paid by fucking Bilal Muhammad for how many times I bring up his striking performance against Vicente Luque. I still go ahead and think that Vicente Luque lost that fight against RDA. Fucking RDA initiated a lot of the grappling, and that's what fucked him. I think he landed some good shots against Vicente Luque. Um, Yeah, no, I think it's Joaquin Buckley. I don't really like Joaquin Buckley, but he does a lot of the little things that I think are perfect for this fight. Um, his striking, I'm not too much of a fan of, but like I said, the side to side movement that he will do from the outside, and then the dart in little combo that he throws. I've used it against him in certain fights, and I think it's going to be working perfectly right here. Having Vicente Luque chase him for a little bit right on the outside, timing a nice little blitz combo on the entrance, and coming in.
So if the under 2.5 is minus 162, what do you think I'm gonna get for the over 1.5? Cause I'm gonna probably lay the over 1.5. Just being honest. Think I'll get plus money on that shit?
Oh,
The,
you can get up. Over 1.5. This fight probably goes to decision more likely than not.
bro,
You can
the
get plus money.
5 is minus money. Minus 162. The over is plus fucking money. How is that possible?
So I will say that when looking at this fight through the split strat, um, it hits the criteria of goes to split at give me a second scrolling plus 350 that clears and goes the distance, which like I said multiple times, it hits at a very high percentage when it's minus money and you're going to go on the over. That's at plus 155. I would assume that people are going to be a lot sharper and keep hitting that line, and by the time I actually make the split strat and send it out into the chat Friday night, we might be looking at a way closer line when it comes to that goes the distance. I think the over at plus 132 is pretty damn good unless Buckley finally cracks that Luque chin, and that's a very big task for him to do.
In Fuego.
Yeah, so we all know Luque has seen far better yesterdays than he has tomorrow's, but despite that, the public is squarely on Luque in this fight, and the lines dropped 57 points from the opener. So right now I'm backing Buckley. I think Buckley's ascending, and Luque is just kind of hanging on to collect a paycheck, one or two more fights, and he's got to call it good. But the public loves Luque, no doubt about it.
Oh,
Bro, this is
tough, brother.
gatekeeper.
Whoa.
Whoa, what?
He beat Tyron Woodley, bro. Take it back.
Oh.
All right, Andrew. Joe had his outburst. What is the next one?
The next one is the last one. The next one is the main event. The next one is a title contender fight. I'm excited for this. Whoever wins this fight, it's definitely getting a title shot. We are going to the flyweight division for the main event. We have a classic grappler versus striker matchup. Aaron Blanchfield taking on Manon Fior. Blanchfield is 12-1. She is on a 5-fight win streak. Manon is 11-1. She's also on a 5-fight win streak. Aaron is 5'4", Manon is 5'7". Aaron does have a 1-inch reach advantage, 66-65. They do both fight orthodox, and Aaron is 9 years younger. There is some stat that floats out there, and it's like if you're 9 years the younger, they win like 65 or 70% of the time, something like that. So pretty significant. If we go to the stats, Aaron averages 5.5 strikes landed per minute, takes back 3.3. Manon averages 6 per minute and takes back 3.3. If we go to the grappling, Aaron averages 2.8 takedowns per 15 with 83% takedown defense. Manon averages about 1.3 takedowns per 15 with a 91% takedown defense. I think this is going to be a fun fight, guys. I'm personally rooting for Manon. I love her striking, but I feel like Aaron's just going to overwhelm her with the grappling. But we'll see. Joe, do you have odds on this, my friend?
I do. 37 books. Aaron Blanchfield is minus 192. Manon Farrow is plus 153. So the over 4.5 is minus 145. The under 4.5 is plus 115. I'm taking Aaron Blanchfield inside the distance. Yeah, I think she overwhelms Manon. I think she ends up getting her down and finishing her. I, I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to throw it over to Trace.
Yeah, I remember one time when Aaron Blanchfield fought this really dangerous striker for the women's division, and she just ran out there and picked her up and slammed her around for a round, took her out in the second round and submitted her. Manon Fiorot doesn't have that kind of power in the division. She doesn't have that one punch change to fight power. She has that I'm tired of getting hit power, so I'm going to quit. I think that we see Aaron Blanchfield go out there and within the first round or two secure the back and take the neck. I think she gets her down pretty quickly. I think they strike just long enough for her to lure her in and get her hands on her, pushes her to the fence, ties her up, takes her down, and then takes the neck and chokes her out. Give me Aaron Blanchfield by submission, rounds 1, 2, or 3 on FanDuel. In Fuego.
Let me ask the Spaces a question. Do you guys think that Manon Fiorot is a better striker than Aaron Blanchfield?
Kinda.
Credentially, for sure, I would say cleaner strikes wise and footwork wise, probably so. But yeah, I'd say yes.
Let- let-
She should be a better striker.
Manon's boxing is slick, man.
Let me ask you: is it close?
She got the reach too, so that helps.
I don't think it's close personally. No.
You think Manon's much better?
On the feet, yes.
No.
Yeah, I just
No.
disagree. Yeah, no big deal. I got into it with I had a discussion with another Twitter user today. I think Aaron's striking is very comparative to Fiorot. So if that's the case,
In Fuego, it's way higher level than people give her credit for.
yeah, no, I agree with you.
Way higher
Aaron,
level than
we
people
know
give her
Aaron
credit
in a
for.
main event is gonna have the home court advantage. We know Aaron Blanchfield is a more intelligent fighter, I think. We know she's going to dominate on the ground. And if you think her striking is somewhat similar, I don't know how we can't be on Aaron Blanchfield. That's just my take.
Yeah, I feel like Aaron is that fighter that gets shit on all the time and then goes out there and beats the fuck out of everybody's pick. And then the next fight, everybody's still like, well, she's not that good. She is that good. Aaron
We've seen
Blanchfield
that in Volkanovski's entire career. It's crazy. It's just people just pick certain fighters, and no matter how good they are, You just can't give him credit for it.
It's Aaron
Usman,
Blanchfield is one of them, bro. That was a good comparison. Not like to the legacy, just like the way people are just not gonna give her credit. It's just not gonna happen for whatever reason. Usman.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put a timer on the wall because I'm gonna rant. Manon Fiorot is one of my least favorite fighters or least liked fighters in all of UFC. If you see the fighters that I dislike, there's a very big trend. Adesanya, Corey Sandhagen, Peter Yan, Manon Fiorot. People like to come and just suck off their striking, and I will say, Manon Fiorot puts out a good amount of volume, and it works for her. Manon Fiorot's striking defense is absolutely dog shit. Her footwork and lateral movement is very much overhyped. Why? Because if you actually watch the tape, she's a fighter that does like to come forward. She wants to meet you in the middle. She'll only go ahead and walk on the outside whenever it gets a little too hairy and she needs the time to breathe. Does she have head movement? I've seen people say she takes her head off that center line. She moves her head. She does not move her head at all. Her head movement is 97.8%, ducking it to the right or to her left. And that's it. That's it. Every single fight you see that she fucking ducks her head that one direction, when the only time that she keeps her hand up to defend her face is when she's sticking out that jab. Besides
And
that, when
when
she throws
Aaron
that,
times it and fucking drops her,
oh,
people are gonna
hey, hey,
say
hey,
she
hey, hey,
sucks, bro.
I got my clock on the wall. Don't steal my thunder here.
You're 87
When
minutes in, bro.
when she throws that jab, she'll keep that left hand and cover the face. When she throws the fucking big right hook that's super telegraphed, fucking the hands on the floor. When she decides to throw a combo that's 4 fucking strikes long, the hands are coming from her fucking hips. Manon Fiorot is not good. Now everybody's gonna go ahead and talk about, yeah, but fucking JJ Aldrich was striking her up, was fucking beating the shit out of Aaron Blanchfield. What did Aaron Blanchfield show in that fight? That she would eat those punches, come right in there, and I think that's a great example of why fucking Aaron Blanchfield is gonna win this fight. Because all the one strike that's gonna fucking knock Manon Fiorot on her fucking ass is gonna be the right hook, and that's something that Aaron Blanchfield throws consistently and beautifully. 1-2 down the middle, right hook. She's going to run into that fucking head kick or into that right hand, get put on her ass, and get submitted. I'm cutting it short, but like I said, I was gonna rant.
hey, did your wife catch you with your pants around your ankles during tape?
I'm in a hotel in Houston, dog. Don't worry about that.
Zai, what you got?
Um, Honestly, I might take a dog shot on Fiora because she's the taller fighter, got a longer reach, and her takedown defense is like at 90% or some crazy shit. But I do like Aaron. She's a great fighter. She's definitely gonna fight for the title one day. I could see. And I was gonna ask him, Fuego. We got a group chat with all of us where we talk fights. If we can add you, or if you don't want to get added, that's cool. But if you want to, it's an option.
Hell yeah, man. Send it to me. I consider that an honor.
I feel like he's already in it. No.
I don't know. I'm not in any group chats, man.
No, we tried before, but there was a member that back then that there was issues with, so he didn't join. But
Oh, they had me blocked.
yeah, so that's no longer an issue though. So yeah, I'll get you in there and Fuego.
Yeah,
I'll
no
add you
worry.
after
I
it.
consider being blocked an honor too.
Yeah, I just
Fuck
found
them.
out that Trent Rainsmith or whatever fucking blocked me because he posted some shit about John Jones, and I commented, "Hey, so you've met John? Could you introduce me?" And then he deleted his post and fucking blocked me. He's fucking lame, but whatever. Being blocked is fucking great. I agree with you. I posted a tweet up top, pinned a tweet by Andy Hickey. Andy is a great follow. He said, main event fact: the winner of the Aaron Blanchfield 6-0 in the UFC and Manon Farrow fight, Manon Farrow 6-0 in the UFC will equal the longest win streak in UFC history without fighting for a title in the female ranks. Tatiana Suarez holds 7, holds the all-time record. So they're fighting for something, guys. Check that out. Being a little bit of a smart ass there. I think that's the whole card. Trace, we done there?
Hour and 35, babe. Put it down.
All right, that's good for me. Andrew, I know you got fight announcements ready. Before you do that, though, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I follow the UFC roster watch account and the UFC and so there's Twitter/roster tracker and Twitter/UFC roster watch. They like do the same shit. I don't know if it's the same account. I don't know. Anyway, they both reported that Joanne Wood, Josh Friesen, Felipe Lins, Carlos Candelario, and Brian Barberena were removed from the UFC roster. I feel like it was already reported that a few of them were removed. I don't know why they were put back on there. And then that Igor Servino was reported to have been removed because he got his ass fired for a bite mark. So that's the roster watch for the weekend. Real quick, before we do the fight announcements, I go to our website, capmma.com, and you can just click that button that says UFC rankings. Gives you some live UFC rankings. There was no change in the rankings. Well, Rose Namajunas debuted. She's now number 7 at flyweight, and that is all of the ranking movement. I was being a little bit of a martyr by insisting on doing that. Andrew, you got fight announcements? Oh shit, we got hands. Usman.
Man, I feel like a real piece of shit because I came into the space last week talking about how happy I was for Brian Barberena getting cut and getting really re-signed and still keeping on his career and saying that he wasn't going to retire if he's not in the UFC just for him to lose 2 fights and then get cut officially. That sucks.
Yeah, it's I like Brian. So Brian's gonna be a total badass in bare knuckle. Just to be clear, he's gonna be a total badass. We're gonna get at least 4 out of him.
Well, that's why I was so happy for him because he had said when the last time they didn't re-sign him that he doesn't want to fight anywhere else. That if it's not the UFC, he's good with retiring and just working on his farm. That's why I was like, man,
Nah,
and he got
BKFC is
re-signed.
gonna
Good for
offer him
him.
6-figure bag, bro. They'll offer him at least 150K, maybe more than that, because Brian would draw. You put Brian as the co-main on a Mike Perry card, people that know MMA are gonna want to see that card, bro. So
Okay, Barberena versus Diego Lopez. I'm feeling it. Or Diego Sanchez. Who the fuck is
I was gonna
Lopez?
say, all right, yeah, but bro, Barberena sells. I mean, there's a lot of value in putting MMA guys over there, and I feel like MMA guys, because they didn't, they're not traditional boxers, and bare knuckle is a lot less concussion heavy. Um, yeah, I feel like there's a good career for guys who get out at like 40, man. They can get another 5 years, 6 years. I feel like dudes could probably do that shit till they're 44, 46 safely and then retire out. And BKFC pays a bag, bro. They pay a bag for dudes with fucking name value. In Fuego.
Yeah, so I have no issue with Chris Tione's calling the fight with Severino. I've got no issue with Severino being cut immediately. What I do have issue with is the commission pulling his purse. Say what you want about him being a cannibal
It's
and
not
this and
pulled.
that.
It's not pulled. It's
Or is it
held.
just on hold like the Khabib fight?
Yeah, it's normal
Yeah,
though.
okay.
It's normal. Like
Yeah,
if
that's
you
fair.
piss dirty, they'll hold your purse in some commissions. Like
And then Joe, that's fair. I just don't want to see a guy who, despite what he did, we all know it was bullshit. He actually trained, showed up, cut weight, was fighting a good fight. Some would argue he was in the lead. To not get paid. You know what I mean? I kind of have a problem with that if that
Fucks
happens.
himself, bro. He was winning that fight. That dude was gassing. I don't know why he bit him.
so, a lot of people are comparing it. So there's going to be a meeting. There's never been. Nevada Athletic Commission is going to have a meeting about it, from what I understand. And it's never been a situation. There's not an official thing to do. So that's why it's not really as cut and clear as like where you can kind of know what his purse is going to be. I seen some literature earlier today when I was searching around that said Mike Tyson was fined 30% of his purse and they pulled his license for biting. So they expect that the MMA guys will follow that. I don't know why, but that's what they expect. So, um, I don't know. I don't know why you got it tattooed on. I thought that was the dumbest fucking thing ever.
That's the thing that sucks. The fucking dude lost his career and everything, lost his undefeated record, lost everything. And now we're gonna take fucking 10,000. What happened to fighter pages? Let this fucking guy get his 10,000 and walk away.
Yo, you say that tattoo's stupid, but that tattoo got him another 25K.
50K. He upped it.
Yeah, he was getting 25, so it got him an extra 25. Um, that's all I got for roster watch. I got a few. I got like 2 or 3 little call out deals, but we do those after the fight announcements. So Andrew, you're up. Trey, send Andrew a co-host. Why ain't he a co-host? What happened?
Oh, I did.
No, I don't see anything. It's all good. I don't need it, bro. I'm chilling, bro. We will start it off with UFC Vegas 91 on April 27th. We have the veteran Tim Means taking on the doctor Uros Medic. I like the doctor. I'm a fan. Normally, I like seeing him strike, but Tim Means is gonna try to take him down. So I don't know about this one, man. What do you guys think?
Man, the only thing I dislike about this fight is the fucking way they did Tim Means dirty in the fucking fight picture. They fucking used the picture with him having the biggest gut. I was like, damn, they're trying to give us a message that he's a flabby old man.
All right, we are moving on. We will go same card. We have Marnik Man taking on Ketlin Souza. I like Marnik Man. I think she's a decent fighter, but she's so small, dude. She's an atom weight. She's too small for the UFC, unfortunately. We have Ryan Spann taking on Bogdan Guskov. Anybody who knows me, I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Spann. I'm just not high on him. And he's fighting down. Like, he's not even fighting a ranked guy anymore. He's fighting a guy with 2 fights in the UFC. This is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, isn't he on a skid though?
Yeah, but to fight that low, that's insane, man.
Yeah. Ryan Spann clearly got some real issues with Anthony Smith. Now he's beating up his stunt double. What the fuck?
So there
He
could
lost
be
to him
some math
twice. He's like,
there.
I'm going to get you, you son of a bitch.
There could be some math there. If he's on a skid and his contract's going to be up, his manager could be telling him to take an easy fight and get a win so they can renegotiate. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just trying to throw some real world possibilities out there.
That makes sense. Makes a little bit of sense. We're going to go to UFC 301 on May 4th. We have a couple announcements. We have Mauricio Ruffy taking on Jamie Malarkey. I don't know who Ruffy is, so I don't have anything on this yet. And then same card, we have a rebooking between Ismael Bonfim and Vince Old as Hell Pichel. Do you guys have any comment on this one?
Fun fight. 5 years, 6, 7 years, 127 years ago, I probably would have taken Vince. I don't know. I'll have to probably look at their last couple of fights now, but
You were taking Vince Pichel 5 months ago, you son of a
I
bitch.
know. But didn't the fight get called off because he got injured?
Yeah, I did get called off for something.
Yeah, I thought it got called off because he got injured. I could be wrong.
It was like, no, he's gotten old since then.
Yeah, well, if a motherfucker old enough getting injured, you're not going to recover. He's at least 40, right? 140. Vince is old as hell, bro.
That's
Oh,
why
boy.
I said it, man. And it fits so well because of his nickname.
We just gonna, yeah, I was like, we just gonna ignore Andrew's smooth transition to that sweet ass nickname.
Ah, oh man. We'll go to UFC St. Louis on May 11th. This is actually a fun fight. We have Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres taking on Sean Woodson. So we should have a striking affair, which would be nice.
Sean Woodson. Oh, okay, never. Nah, Sean Woodson gonna get his ass beat if he strikes with Bruce Leroy. What you talking about, bro?
But he's a striker. That's what he does.
And he got a fucking reach.
Yeah, he does. The longest in the featherweight
But
division.
he's got that Mike Wazowski body.
We will go to UFC. It's not official, but we think it's going to be in Vegas at the Apex, May 18th. We have Adrian Yanez. Yes, I am now saying it the correct way because he corrected everybody recently. It is Adrian Yanez against Vinicius Salvador. I think they're giving Yanez a win so he can get back on track.
The Andrew Helwani breakdown.
Yeah. As a resident Mexican, fuck Yanez. We're just gonna call you Yanez, bro. You took way too long to start correcting
So
people.
Usman, I don't
Yeah,
know
and
the official
Giannis got
name.
hands made that shit too famous, bro. He more famous than you. Giannis got hands made you famous, bro. That Twitter dude made him famous. Fuck that. You're Giannis now.
So Usman, you should know. I always forget the name, but that little squiggly line above the N where it lets you know it's that sound. What's that thing called?
Enya.
Inya. Okay, so he's never had it on his name. So had he had it on his name, I would have been pronouncing his name correctly the whole entire fucking time. But he doesn't do it, so I can't pronounce it as that.
The fuck out of here with that.
He's trying to let you know he's a real Mexican, not like Usman. He's like, I got that real squiggly shit. I'm real. Usman.
Oh, shut the hell up, Joe White and Tracy Chapman. Yeah, sorry, nobody's getting y'all's name
Hey,
Mark
wrong.
Henry
you're just,
Jacobs?
motherfucker, listen, let me tell you something. You're just mad I got a fast car, bitch.
Oh man. Okay,
Don't be mad. My name works well.
so same card. It was announced today, I believe. We have the main event for that card on May 18th in the Apex. It's gonna be Edson Barbosa against Lerone Murphy. I don't understand this as a main
Dude,
event.
Edson Barbosa is older than
Dude, I
faggot.
don't
He
like
is.
nothing about this shit makes sense for a main event.
They should put an eye patch on him and fucking like what the fuck? He is so old. What
Bro,
card is it? What? It's got to be the Brazil card, right?
no, it's May 18th. It's in Vegas. It's at the Apex. So it makes sense, right?
Why?
But like,
He's
here's the thing: if that were your co-main event, that makes a great co-main event because you know it's going to be a banger. But to headline a 38-year-old guy and then Lerone Murphy, who, I mean, it's not like he's making his way all the way up
listen.
the ranks or anything.
This guy's been in the UFC for like 120 years. He's got 97 knockouts. He's got the fastest second round knockout with a left kick ever. He once kicked a body bag and the chain fell off. And on the punching machine that's shorter than the other punching machine, he's got the record. This guy is serious stuff. And the other guy, let me tell you about the other guy. This is Dana White trying to sell us this fight, bro. Like, what the fuck? This is not even a co-main event fight. I'm not being an asshole. This is not even a co-main event fight.
I think for an Apex card, it would be a good co-main event. I do.
All right, that's fair. For an Apex card, it's a kinda. Who's the main event in that situation?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, someone a little bit better, or
Hey,
at least.
fucking Joe got me over here thinking about Dana White selling me a guy that ain't never seen water before now. Man, I hear been selling. This motherfucker has never seen water. You know he's gonna kill somebody.
He's thirsty, and we promised him a gallon, and we got him good shit. It's Fiji. We let him see it.
Y'all guys are a bunch of crybaby bitches. This is 11 and 14. We've got a guy who always fucking puts on bangers, and y'all are crying that we get to see it for 5 rounds against a fucking up and coming prospect that hasn't had a chance in the top 15. Son of a bitch, will y'all just shut the fuck up and stop crying? I already told y'all 6 months ago, 300 and 299 are so fucking stacked that we're gonna get worse fucking main events than this. We're supposed to get another Myra Buena Silva fucking main event coming up soon. Shut the fuck up and enjoy it.
It doesn't
Quality over
matter what your
quantity, my
name
friend.
is.
Quality over quantity, my friend.
Oh yeah, and then come that fucking weekend, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, shit, man! Edson Barbosa still got it at 74 years old. He just put on a barn burner. That fight was
That sounds
awesome."
fucking nothing like me. What are you talking about?
It
Usman,
sounds a
Yeah, that's
little
just
like
the
you.
fucking
Who
MMA
the fuck
Twitter
says
echo.
barn burner?
Usman coming here with his inner rock coming out. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh, fuck. Andrew, what's the next fight?
Next we have a couple fight announcements for UFC 302, June 1st. This one is interesting. I fucking hate to say it, but Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is taking on Roman Dolidze. I gotta say, I don't think this is a great matchup for Hernandez. I don't. And I hate saying that because I'm not big on.
Grapple the shit out of him, man. He gonna
Roman
like,
gonna eat that boy up.
Yeah, but I think this is one of those things where if he does take Roman down, I think Roman can throw one of those subs up and get him. I do. I hope I'm wrong because I love Fluffy. Fluffy's my guy. But I think it's an interesting matchup.
Roman Dolidze was never my friend. That guy's gonna go out there and get fucking subbed.
Shut up. No. Hell no.
Fluffy's gonna
No.
hit that slide down guillotine.
We're not gonna just sit there and take that. No, that's his boy. He is backing his boy. I don't care what he says, that is his boy. Same card. We have again, like just we have Alexander Volkov coming back after in like 6 or 7 months. He's gonna be taking on Jailton Almeida. Like I just I what are they
All
trying
right.
to get Almeida back by giving him a guy they know he can take down? Because if you think fucking Curtis Blades knocks him out with a couple elbows in like that, what the fuck do you think Volkov is gonna do to him if he touches?
Bro, I will be honest. I think Volkov is a worse matchup for Almeida than Blades was.
Bro, if Volkov touches him, dude, he's getting sent to the fucking shadow realm.
He's never gonna get on. He's never gonna get on inside on Volkov. Volkov's gonna touch him up from the outside.
Yeah, bro, and Volkov's got good takedown defense. Like you can't even necessarily. I don't know what his stats say, but I know the later he has gotten in his career, he has tuned his takedown defense up. Man, that is a bad matchup for Almeida, and I like Almeida. That is a bad fucking matchup for Almeida. In my
Volkov's still young. Volkov's still young for the heavyweight division. Isn't he? He's like in his early 30s. Am I wrong?
He's like 35 and he's got a lot of miles on him, but he still looks good. You know what I mean? He hasn't really
Well, he
slowed down.
put the size on nicely. Like he put the weight on slowly, but it looks good. It's muscle, not fat.
Yeah,
oh,
and
bro,
to
have
your
you seen
credit
his
about
legs?
Relax, Almeida.
It's like
Trace,
it's like two tree trunks.
to your credit about Volkov using his distance well, dude, his front body kicks, like those straight body kicks, dude. If Almeida feels one of those, like he's gonna get scared.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's the main thing about Volkov is not that guy he's not big power. He just touches you. He puts them sticks on you, bro. He just pop 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 pop. You get tired, you start making mistakes, and then he starts sitting down on them. That's why his finishes usually come later in the fight because he's like a Diaz brother almost. He just touches you up, but once he hurts you, he swarms you.
Yeah, I don't think people realize like how big this man is. Joe was just talking about his legs being tree trunks, and I wholeheartedly agree. Bro, this man is 6'7", like 240 pounds. He is a fucking mammoth of a human being.
And one of the
Relax, Almeida's gonna steamroll his ass.
You think so?
Yeah, man, fucking Curtis Blades got lucky. We knew how that fight was going. But I will say, fucking,
How
I
do we
always say,
know that fight
fucking,
was going that way? Andy got lucky. How the fuck does that work in the same
you,
sentence, bro?
you, you know what I mean, you son of a bitch. We knew how the
Bro,
fight
I
was
bet
supposed
you
to
say
go, and it was going that
I
way.
bet you say same difference, don't you?
No, I don't. That's some Andrew shit
Bro,
right there.
whenever Usman says you son of a bitch, all I do is I picture Fez from that '70s show. Fucking kills me every time. He's,
Oh, dude,
Bro,
Chase,
I
that was
don't have an
great.
accent. What? I don't have an accent. What the fuck are you talking about?
you son of a bitch. I said good day.
Oh, oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry.
Give us the next fight, Andrew. Hurry the fuck up.
Soaking it, soaking
I
it.
can't breathe.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Oh, oh shit. Okay. Um,
Dad, you're a piece of shit for not speaking up and supporting your Mexican, you asshole.
oh fuck. I'm fucking tearing up over here, bro. Okay, we have a UFC event on June 8th. We have it's Pooja Tomar. I'm pretty sure she's making her UFC debut against Hyen Amanda. She's coming off the Contender Series. Um, the week after that, June 15th, we have a couple fight announcements. Alex Perez taking on Tagir Ulanbekov. Seems like they're just going to give more grapple heavy guys to Perez so we can get them inside the rankings, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Okay, cool. We have Nate Maness taking on Jimmy the Brick Flick. We have
Oh, yay. But Flick for submission is live there.
it.
Probably
It could be, yeah.
live.
It could be.
Probably
We have
looking for that one.
Adam Fugit taking on Josh Quinlan, super high level. We have Julia Pilastri taking on Josephine Knutson. Pretty sure this is a rebooking.
That's gonna be a banger though, man. That's them girls fight at high paces.
Should be a good one. We have Carly Judas taking on Gabriela Fernandez.
Probably Judy's boy, not Judas.
Sorry. And then just announced 4 hours ago, space favorite Garrett Armfield. He'll be taking on Brady Highstand.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Fluttering Brady Iceman.
Yep. I have just two left. UFC 303, June 29th. We have Cody Durden taking on Carlos Hernandez.
That's
Yep.
a good fight.
And then
That's
there's a
actually
UFC.
that's a good fight. I mean, we ain't got to break it down, but that's a good fight.
We'll see.
According to him, it's on the Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler card.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Last
Oh,
fight
I did see it.
announcement.
I seen the video. He's on the beach or something. I seen it. I seen it. Andrew.
Just one more UFC event on July 13th. Destination to be determined. We have Luana Santos taking on Maria Agapova.
Agapova was just crying in social media she couldn't get a fight and ripped it down. I talked about that at the beginning of the space. They must have texted her like, yo, sign the fucking papers. She called Mick Maynard out on social media saying that they're not giving her fights and she can't pay her bills and they won't let her fight in other promotions. And then she fucking deleted it. So her manager must have called her like, you got to fight, dumbass. That's fucking funny. I posted a tweet up top. UFC Paris 3 has been announced for 28 September 2024. Cora Arena, Surreal Gone. I don't know. I can't read the rest. It's in fucking French or some shit, but it looks like they announced the UFC Paris card for September 28th up there with Surreal Gone on it. And Benoit Saint Denis
has commented several times on how he has been hearing that there is a Paris card coming and he wants to be on it. So seems like that's probably pretty legit there.
Yeah, Cyril Gane should be headlining it. I'm pretty sure they announced that. So here's the thing. Is Tom going to wait that long to fight him for the interim belt, or is Cyril going to fight someone else?
Man, I think Tom's going to fight Curtis Blades before then.
So you think he'll fight Curtis Blades and then fight him again in September?
Yeah, I do.
You don't think because okay, so if he fights Curtis Blades, when do you think it happens? Because to have him fight in like June and then risk any kind of injury and have him turn around 3 months later, like with a French card where you need that main event to hit, you know what I mean?
So what about Gane Pav though?
Oh yeah, they could do that. That
And
makes
Pav's
sense.
big sale over there. Pav's not exactly, like I know he's not the home fighter, but he's not far from home over there is what I'm saying. He'll have fan base over there too. I was assuming that it's going to be Pav. I just, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably going to be Pav. So I think it's going to be Tom fights Curtis. I actually think there is very good potential that Tom versus Curtis on TV headlines the Saudi Arabia card.
Oh, that's a fight night card, right?
Yeah. And
you think they'll do it for the interim?
Yeah, because it's on ABC.
Oh, okay.
And Saudi Arabia paid $20 million for the event. There is probably some validity to what Ariel Hawani said about them being pissed off that there were no good fights announced or really possible for their card. So, yeah, I think that it makes sense for the UFC to put an interim title fight on a fight night card. Tom doesn't get pay-per-view points. I mean, he would, but, they'll give him a bonus and the Saudis get a title fight. It's just my assumption. It's just my assumption. I think the fights might be, I think Tom would have to wait till the end of the year. I think he would have to wait till after Surreal and Pav. Just what I think. I don't know. Whatever. Is that all you got? Oh yeah, that was me. I was already onto the Paris card. So Connor says this bout agreement is signed for the summer. Mike told TMZ that they have a bout agreement, but he is not allowed to disclose the date. He said it is for the summer. So it looks like these boys really do have a bout agreement. Connor's been saying 303 all along. Connor wants to fight at International Fight Week. Probably the sole reason I'm not going. I've been to enough Connor cards and I'm really not a fan. So it looks like it's probably going to be 303. So JDM, I told you guys last week that JDM wants the Shavkat fight. Shavkat seems to have replied. I just put a tweet up top. Shavkat tweeted saying, "I respect your courage and confidence, Jack, but you will face the same fate as my previous opponents." A lot of people are saying that means Shavkat is willing to fight him. I don't know if I read that deep into it, but I don't know, man. You guys think that fight's good for JDM? JDM feels like if he beats Shavkat, he could ask for a title fight. He feels
Dude,
like
I think it makes sense because here's the thing. He's calling out a guy that nobody else is calling out, a fight that nobody else wants. And so that's already drawing attention to him, right? Dude, it's not like this guy is like 36 years old. You know what I mean? Like he's fine. So if he loses, like I don't really see he loses any stock at all. I think it's a good call, man. Because if he does win, he's getting a title shot after that.
So I agree with you that it doesn't cost him stock. And I'll say that in the sense that he already got derailed. The JDM hype train already got derailed. he's back on track. I'm not dogging him. He already got his derail, So that big hype, is it going to happen? Is he going to get beat? Just all that shit is behind him. So, and I do feel like the way that the division is stacking up, he's a long way from a title shot. Not by fights, by name value. So this is probably strike while the iron is hot and try to get one of those names while you can, in my opinion. Otherwise, 2, 3, 4 fights can unfold for the champion and contention before you know it. Like, that's just how the divisions turn around. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a good call out for JDM. It's probably a bad fight for him, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't think it's a good matchup for him at all. But I see the reasoning behind it, and I respect it.
Yeah, he's taking a shot. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, dude, he's 27 years old. If he loses, it's not like his fucking career's over. I think this is a great idea for him.
And that's the ideal time. If you're going to be a champion, you want to do it in your late 20s. So that way, it's just the way careers line up. Yeah, you don't want to have to wait. Speaking of Shavkat, my final internet beef topic, who could fight who here is so maybe a little left field, but I did bring this up a while back, and now shit is heating up. Man, I think there's a good chance if Sean Strickland doesn't get the DDP fight, he fights Ian Gary. I know that might sound crazy, but now it's Sean at Ian's wife, and it's heating up enough. And crazy enough is, I think Sean could get Ian to go to 185 to do it. I think Ian really thinks he could beat the shit out of Sean. And I think it's a horrible matchup for Ian.
But do you truly think that Ian would do that right now? Because I don't think it makes
Yeah,
any sense.
because it would
I
get
don't think he would either.
because listen, so yeah, here's why. So all right, so Ian's got beef with Strickland. Ian also has there's been some talk of him and Shavkat. I don't think that's going anywhere. The UFC's not going to pin them two against each other yet. So then there's Ian versus Colby, which seems to be gaining some smoke. But Colby's a staller. You guys know that, and I know that. He stalls. It's probably because he negotiates for more money out of the UFC. He's probably one of them guys. He's probably as difficult to deal with politely as he is to listen to, He'll compliment you as he insults another motherfucker. So I think the Colby shit could stall out. Ian, so here's where I was going. Ian has made it very clear he doesn't want to fight MVP because he wants to get to the title shot. He wants a fight above him, and then he wants the title fight. If he thinks he could beat Sean Strickland, if you go to 185, beat Sean Strickland, even though you did it at 185, you for sure can come back to 170 and get a title shot. So I think he would take it based on that. I don't think it's a good matchup for him, but I actually think it's a fairly viable fight at this point. Because I think Sean Strickland is going to get passed up, and he is going to be one of them champions that doesn't get a rematch right away. They're probably going to do Izzy versus DDP, and then if Izzy wins, maybe he'll rematch Strickland, but I don't know. Strickland beat the shit out of him, so I don't know. I don't know. So of those three, I would ask my co-host, Ian versus Colby versus MVP or versus Strickland. What do you think's most likely?
I don't know. I don't feel like it necessarily has to be one of those guys.
Ian's
Fighting
gonna get out
Strickland.
of 3. Ian's gonna get on the counter card. Mark my words, he's getting on that counter card. Doesn't matter where it is. Ian Gary is getting on the counter card. So that's kind of why I'm pressing it. Just to be clear, I feel like he's getting an announcement soon.
So he realistically, he's like one fight away from a title shot. He just has to essentially beat one guy in the top 5. I don't know, man. They're not going to give him Bilal. They're not going to give him Kamaru. They're probably not going to give him Shavkat either. You're right about the Colby thing stalling. I definitely agree. But if that fight does come into fruition, I think that's how Ian Gary gets his title shot. And that's what I'm saying. I think he really is focused on the gold. Plus, I don't think his wife would actually let him take that fight with Strickland. And, we both know who runs that. So I don't know. I respectfully disagree with you. I don't really see that as a feasible option right now. Maybe like a year or two down the road, but I don't see it, bro. I really don't.
Yeah, but Colby versus Ian is a fight night main event. It's not it's in my opinion, it's not even a co-main on a pay-per-view. Maybe I'm tripping, but it's just not. Like it's the feature fight.
I feel like these two talk enough trash and actually have a genuine dislike for each other to where I think they could sell it as a co-main for sure.
Really, on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, they could. If it was a Connor card, they for sure could. You could put Ian versus Colby under Connor versus Mike. Um, yeah, that could happen.
I would say he could fight Jack, but Jack's already fighting, so.
I would say if the UFC could see an opportunity to get Connor, Colby, and Ian Gary all at the same presser, they
Dude, that would be
probably
a fucking shit show. We wouldn't understand anyone.
yeah, but they'd probably take that fucking shot. I think so.
We're getting Ian Gary versus Bilal Muhammad.
Nope.
Chill
No
out.
fucking way.
You think they would have already made the fucking Bilal Leon fight already? That shit ain't gonna happen.
Bilal Muhammad is not getting a title shot. I do not talk about why in this title space, but I know why.
We already know, Joe. We all agree with you on that one. The only one who disagrees is Connor.
No, I actually, so I keep it to myself, but uh, just I think that there are political reasons that Bilal Muhammad is not getting a title shot. Bilal Muhammad will not get a title shot. Yep. I just think that there's certain things that, even though the UFC and TKO will never admit or never fess up to, there are just certain things they do not want to endorse or be endorsed with, or have endorsed in their name, or have promoted in their name, or have interviews spoke about with their belt on the arm or shoulder of that guy. I just feel like Bilal Muhammad is not getting a title shot because of who he is. And like, I'm not saying like I agree with it or that I disagree with it. I'm not at all commenting on that. I'm just saying that I have a core belief that is why. I know, I guess I kind of know a lot about the Arab world. I live in the most Muslim city in America, and I live next to one of the biggest Arab communities outside of the Middle East. And, there are definite sides to the things they argue and fight about. And I truly, with all of my heart, believe that is why Bilal Muhammad will not get a title shot. Whether that is right or wrong is not my opinion that I am voicing. Better times.
Yeah, for a moment I didn't know what you were talking about, but man, honestly, I just don't think they like Bilal, just because like I always thought it was just because he was boring, but if that's the case, whatever. But as far as Ian Gary, man, I'm looking at the rankings right now, and it feels like the only fight they really could give him is Colby Covington. Like, it's either that or Burns, but Burns isn't in the top 5, and I don't think a wins over Burns now will give him that title shot. So Colby Covington is pretty much the only shot that he's got, and I think that would be an interesting fight one day, like Ian Gary versus Leon Edwards, because I can honestly see Leon beating all the opponents they have for him, like Shavkat. I can see him beating Shavkat. When they first announced him versus Kazmat Shemaev, I was ready to throw down on fucking Leon because everyone sleeps on him. Everyone thinks because of the wrestling, like, oh, like the wrestling of Cosmite is gonna fucking just outdo the skill that Leon possesses. Leon is just such an amazing striker, and his wrestling defense is how, like, it's the little things he does that's just so amazing, which is why I knew he was going to be Kamaru and why I knew he was going to be Kamaru again. Like, Leon is going to hold that belt for a long time, and I think the most interesting fight would probably be Ian Gary because of how good he is at range management, just like Leon is. But I think Leon ends up winning that fight too.
Yeah, I don't think Ian could beat Leon by any stretch. To be very, very clear about that. Yeah, I'm not going to dig too much into it. We're trying to stick to a timeline here, and whatever. I'm probably going to run 15 minutes over at this point, so I'm just going to skip on. I'm not really dismissing it. I just got to move on. I just noticed what time it is. All right, we're going to do pressure points here. These are the topics I think affect MMA on a much larger scale. I have 4 of them tonight. So we are going to open with Dana White recently revealed that he threatened it, but it was a revealed. So he recently commented that he threatened to resign if Joe Rogan got released. That was during the Endeavor buyout. I actually remember when that happened, and I remember Joe Rogan making a comment on that. Dana says when he retires, well, if I understand this, when Dana White retires, Joe Rogan is retiring and Bruce Buffer are retiring. I think it's pretty cool that when they go, they will all go. It kind of gives it back. It'll be, a new face, a new announcer, new voice in the octagon. But Dana has double backed on that now and said, what the fuck am I going to do if I'm not doing this? And pretty much said that he's going to work till he dies now. So, maybe they never go anywhere. But I don't know. It's hitting a lot of headlines. I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy. Whatever. I guess I just wanted to bring it up. My point really there was that the 3 of them will retire together. So, as much as I don't want to see Dana White go, I can't wait to see Bruce Buffer go. And Joe Rogan, I'm pretty indifferent on. So, if I've got to see Dana White go to get rid of Bruce Buffer, I think I just want to know what Bruce Buffer's replacement would be, and then I'll make that decision. How you
Bro,
guys?
this is becoming like a weekly thing. What did he do to you, man?
What do you mean?
Bro, you talk about him every week now.
Who's that?
Bruce.
I don't talk about Bruce Buffer.
Dude, you've been bagging on him a lot lately. Like you really are over him.
I mean, I do sincerely wish he would shut the fuck up. If he didn't charge $375 for one of his little cameos, if it was like $150, I would pay one of him just not saying anything. That would be my cameo. So I could pose. It cost me $150 to get Bruce Buffer to shut the fuck up. Money well spent. But I'm not spending $375. Like I fucking hate Bruce Buffer. I don't know why you guys like him. But it's on like 4 or 5 channels, so I kind of just wanted to touch on it. Maybe 3 or 4, but I did see it on a few things because Dana talked about it on a podcast. So it's kind of just resurfacing, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up. It's been something old. So that's not a big one, but it would be if Dana retired, I guess, because Joe Rogan has made it very clear. If Dana White retires, he's gone. That's it. He resigns that day. He's done. And if I recall, Bruce Buffer has pretty much said the same, that he's going to do it until Dana White is done. So I don't know if that's the talk or whatever, but could be a thing. So the UFC antitrust came to a fucking end. There was a settlement reached between Zuffa and Johnson, and Zuffa paid the amount of, or agreed to pay the amount of 335 million fucking dollars. Man, I think it was 1.3 billion is what they were chasing. There are NDAs involved. The MMA FA, which is the MMA Fighters Association, says that they can't speak about it for 45 to 60 days, but they feel like they made a difference. I fucking doubt that they made a difference at all. They took the $335 million because it took them 10 years to get that offer, in my opinion. Some other people feel very differently. But this just seems to be what it is. The lawyers are taking over $100 million of that money, and then the rest will be divided up. It's about $175,000 per fighter if it were divided evenly, but it will not be divided evenly. I'm still waiting patiently to try and figure out how it will be divided, what will decide who gets what. The reason I want to know that is there are clearly some MMA fighters who have a much larger voice in the MMA Fighters Association, and I'm very curious to know what they all get. I'm very curious to see what the top advocates for this lawsuit end up pocketing out of this. It's the same type of deal where, they wanted all types of shit for fighters plus compensation. And from the looks of it, they only got compensation. I have a feeling that we're going to see them say they got health care for fighters. The UFC already provides health care for fighters. I think we're going to see them say that they got some type of pension. The UFC already set up some type of shit like that for fighters. So it's not, they probably didn't do much. But that is just my opinion, and I could be proved very wrong when everybody is able to talk about the things that they say are under non-disclosure agreements, but they will be able to comment on later. Like, I'm not being fucking funny. This is what they say. Like, I don't even know how to explain that. Like, how do I even say that out loud? Like, okay, so there's NDAs, but they'll be able to talk about it later. It doesn't even make fucking sense. I think they took the money. It is what it is. I'm going to pin some tweets here if you guys want to bookmark them and look at them later. These are the guys that really are the best at all of this shit. I want to shout out to, I actually typed this out that I'm just pinning some tweets here, guys. So hopefully you guys bookmark some of them and follow them and read them. It's good stuff. So I want to shout out guys like Mike Russell, though, and Paul Grift and or Gift and Eric McGracken, Kevin Ioli. Like, there are real MMA journalists out there. If you guys don't know, like, I know we talk about the media and we feel like they push these fucking narratives and all this other bullshit. Like, I know that we are hard on them, but there are real journalists out there that are just fucking reporting the facts, going through fighter contracts. I hated the guys over at Bloody Elbow because they were so anti-UFC, but they read the contracts. The shit they published were facts. There were, they didn't just publish opinions a lot of times. So whatever, that's my little ramble about that. I don't know if any of you guys have any comments on it. I'll close with saying that I personally feel like that lawsuit would have dismantled the UFC, crippled them, and would have in no way helped fighters of the current day. It would have basically made the UFC give fighters up, give them way shorter contracts, give them way less security when the competition is paying far less. And you can say that there's anti-competitive this or that. They're both on fucking ESPN. They're both on ESPN. PFL is on ESPN. So why the fuck you can't get a paycheck over there? That's just for whatever opinion. I don't know if anybody's got any comment on that. on the lawsuit. I don't know if any of you guys even follow it. Like, I followed that shit like a fucking hawk. But I don't know if any of you guys even follow that shit, to be honest. So,
It's not something I like take too much importance in, just because it doesn't really change anything. I just feel like this is one of those cases where some dudes are trying to, fight the good fight, do what's right for the people. And then they realize halfway through they're not going to win, and they go, okay, we'll just take some money then, even though that's really what they wanted in the beginning. Like, that's the thing, man. It's like, it's the same thing that Francis is doing. And it's like, I don't want to be that guy because everyone in here likes to be that guy. But just own your shit. Like, you're there to make money. Like, quit trying to be the fucking savior for everybody. Quit trying to say that you're trying to help the organization and help the future of fighting and all that stuff. No, you're not. You're trying to get your pockets full. And I have no shame in that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just own it. Just fucking own it. Like, there's nothing wrong with owning that. Hey, we all want money. You feel like you were wronged throughout your UFC career. You feel like you didn't make enough money. I'm sure most of us can agree to that to some extent. Dude, that's what you're after. You're after money. Just quit with the bullshit after it. That's the only thing that bothers me about it.
well, I agree with you 100%. And, yeah, I agree with you 100%. They they planted a flag and said they were going to stand next to it, and then they didn't. Like, that's how I feel. You said you were going to do all this for fighting and fighters, and there's no proof you did any of it. And the fact that you took so much less money, um, just gives me an indication that you didn't really make a difference. You didn't do anything that's really going to change anything. We'll see. You know,
So I've got to imagine, because I'm pretty sure that they said that they would have to like redo like a whole bunch of trials and combine them all into one case, and essentially it would have cost too much money to do it, right? Dude, you had to have known to some degree, like, that it was going to cost a certain amount of money. Like, there's no way you could have gone into this and then something like this happens and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I didn't realize that lawyer fees and all these court costs would add up to this. We don't have
oh,
enough
so
money to do it.
so they were probably just paying the lawyers enough to get by. Um, enough if the law firm didn't have enough money to be able to soak up the expenses for 10 years. Um,
Right.
they were probably just taking chunk payments to keep working, and the lawyers were dependent on a settlement. With no settlement, the lawyers ideally aren't getting paid, at least not any more than they've collected. And with that settlement, they're entitled to at least $105 million. Um,
Who, the lawyers?
yeah,
Okay. And the total payout was what, like 350?
335,
335.
and it could be a little more than that, but it's around 105.
So
That's
that's
still,
almost a third of it, bro.
yeah, 30%. It's like 30% or something ish. 30% ish
Yeah.
is what they're taking. Yeah, which is, you know what, I'll this is what I'll say. The lawyers took the case on knowing that it may not pay out. They put 10 years into it. The lawyers did more work legally than the fighters did. Um, I have no problem with the lawyers getting 30% in this. Like, I don't see any greed in it. I don't. It was a very long term commitment for them who that may not have paid off. So I'm not mad at their percentage. I'm not applauding the lawyers or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm not mad about their percentage, but the fighters, they got everybody some money. That's what they did. Maybe they got some things, the UFC, to say, we'll do this as policy, we'll do this now, we'll do that now. But it's probably shit the UFC was already starting to do or already had in place to begin doing. I'm not being a company man. As the UFC has grown, and honestly, as 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 the people they deal with has grown,
as they have went from Zuffa to Endeavor to TKO, they just policies change. They treat people much better. Yeah, just things will naturally change as all the money flows. So like you're gonna see improvements to the way fighters are treated and the way everything goes down, and you're gonna see that for a long time to come. So I just doubt anything they did made historical impact. Is all I'm saying. I doubt
You
they
think
got
they're happy with 200K
it's 200
after
million.
all that?
200 million. Oh, each fighter though, bro. There's 1,200 fighters.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you think after 10 years of work and dedication, you think they're happy with 200K?
So this is the thing. Most of those fighters didn't do anything.
Oh, you
Most
think they just like signed something and then said,
Oh,
okay?
they did. They did. They 100% did. It's just a class action lawsuit. Now there's a core group of them, the guys who run that MMA Fighters Association. Those guys were super hands on. I'm curious if they're getting paid. I'm curious if they're getting paid by the lawyers for their time. The lawyers could legally pay them. Like I'm curious to know if there's any further compensation. I'm also curious to know what the criteria is for the money. If you fought a title fight, are you in, like, so this is supposed to be compensation money for what they didn't make. So do they get more for a title fight? Like, if a guy fought for a title, does he get more compensation than the guy who fought on the prelims? Is it per fight? Is it per contract? None of that has been put out. So, like, I don't know. When all of that comes out, I feel like it'll be very hard for them to hide intentions. Um, yeah, that's just how I feel. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one because it's not far off of this. I'll post a few more tweets here. So, the PFL, incidentally, because of the UFC antitrust, one way or another, a PFL contract came to light or was, I don't want to say exposed, like that's not the word I'm looking for. But did that say post remove? Oh, remove from bookmarks. But it was seen. It was looked at. The PFL is as shitty as I have thought they are all along. So the terms in their contracts say that the initial term, except as otherwise stated hereon, the initial term of this agreement shall begin on the effective date. So it's for the 2023 season. First renewal option. The PFL shall have the right to renew you for another season. I won't read it word for word. We don't have that kind of time. Then there is a second renewal option if they want to keep you for a third season. Then there is a championship renewal option if you're a champion and they want to keep you for another year. And then there is what is called the final extension um, option. The PFL gets you to sign a 1 year contract that could obligate you to them for like 8 fucking years. Um, if you're successful with them, it's like a fucking trap. Then they go in further to look. If you are in the season, you get $5,000 to win, $5,000 to show. Then I don't know the rounds and what then your next fight is 8-8. 8 if you win, 8 if the commission, or 8 to show, 8 if the commission says you win. There's 25,000 is paid at some point. Oh, the quarterfinals. I just have a bunch of this printed in front of me. I'm just kind of scrolling down, guys. 25,000 is paid in the quarterfinals, and then some people sounded surprised. Basically, at the end, you get $50K to show and $850,000 if you win. This is because you get $1 million total. Your season is worth $1 million total if you win. And if the PFL decides not to hold quarterfinals for certain divisions where there may be fewer than 12 competitors, they can reduce it to a $900,000 total amount. But we knew this because Anthony Pettis told us that
his money was front heavy. He was getting like 400 and 400, and he only got 200 if he won or some shit. I don't know if those numbers are accurate, but it was crazy like that. Like he was crazy front heavy, but he told us it was only worth $1 million to him either way. Um, you know, there are guys out there. I just posted a bunch of them. I just shared a whole bunch of them by Eric, who is clearly exposing uh, that the PFL has super shitty contracts that lock guys in, and people are calling him a UFC hater. Like people don't always read. They don't always pay attention to what other people are fighting. There are clauses in their contracts that censor fighters, that censor wardrobes, that restrict all types of shit. The PFL contracts are no ho. Like the PFL fucking owns you. That is some filthy shit in my opinion. Follow those tweets, bookmark them, follow Eric. You'll get a lot of information about how the structure of all this shit works. And he's not anti PFL. Eric just fucking reports it. Usman, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, I mean, if you follow the real MMA journalists here in Cap MMA, we've been saying this for quite a while now. But I was gonna ask, so what do y'all think about the whole Don Davis, Kayla Harrison situation? Because she comes out and says, now that it's all over, that they let her out of her contract. Don Davis saying that there was like a mix up. Oh, she believed that she was done with the contract. We believe that she had one more fight left in the contract. We didn't want to take it to any legal situations. If a fighter wants out of their contract, doesn't want to fight with us, they can just go ahead and leave. We didn't want to cause an issue. So if she believes she was done, then she's done. And then back to the cyborg thing that we were talking about earlier. Like, there's a lot of fucking stipulations here to keep you signed up to the PFL for a
Bro,
long
I've
ass fucking
had
time.
gone the con several times. Like it is a con. So here's my take on that, and you can get back on if you want, but here's my take on what you said specifically about the Kayla situation. So there is all these fucking clauses. Right here it says champion renewal option. In the event a fighter wins the championship MMA bout in the final year of the term, the PFL shall have the right and the option to renew the agreement, championship renewal option, for up to one additional year following the final renewal term, championship return. Then that's line D. Line E, extension. PFL shall have the right and the option to extend the agreement, the extension option, for up to 1 year additional in the event the fighter is unable to compete in competition in any league season for any reason outside of the PFL's control, including including without limitation injury that cut short fighters' completion of a league season before their elimination under PFL rules, extension term. I don't even have the extension term in front of me. Bro, so they probably have they probably just knew that they could make her stay under a certain clause. But the PFL, and I told you guys this all along, the PFL understood. And I told you guys they were probably sending money to help fucking campaign against it. They were probably helping fighters. They were probably doing anything they could for the guys trying to pump that antitrust lawsuit. Like it at that time specifically, it looked like they were going to trial. The PFL probably wanted to stay out of the light. Probably let Kayla go because they knew that she was going to start fucking talking about what they were doing. Because Kayla has said there will come a time where she's going to tell everybody. Um, she doesn't want her leaving PFL for that to be the big story, though. She wants the big story for her to go to the UFC and become a champion. And I respect that. But
she has said she will fucking tell all one day. She will do an interview and she will let everybody know. And she said it won't be that far off in the future. I think she wants to get the UFC belt and then she wants to do it. I I think that Kayla had them by the balls. I think her lawyer probably looked at it and said, fucking take them to court. I think Kayla probably said, all right, motherfuckers, let's go. Because she's that type of person. And they just said, nah, you know what? Go ahead. Um, yeah. I just think that that's what it is. I think it was just timing and everything else. But I think the UFC or the PFL could have tried to hold her. Or maybe she figured out something in one of the terms that she knew they didn't. But yeah, those are tricky fucking contracts right there. Yeah, I mean, the UFC also has some clauses in theirs, but not quite where they can. The fucked up thing about them being able to string you along for the seasons is they're basically making you fight 4 times a year and you can't say no. And they're basically making you take season pay and you can't say no. Those are the fucking terms. You signed up for $5 grand, $8 grand, 25 grand. Like, what if they hold you all 4 years because you win a championship? Take the fucking. I mean, if you took the championship and you're winning the $1 million every year, I guess that you couldn't have anything to complain about. But if you're not, and they keep you for 3 years, bro, they can really stick it to some fighters for some low ass pay.
So I think that contract is for like intro fighters, like fighters who have no name and they're just trying to, get in the scene.
But
Obviously, I think everyone has
your
different
contract,
contracts. However, the $1 million thing is, like you said, yeah, it's a total. But there are some dudes that are making 50 and 50 or 100 and 100, and then they're still only getting 100 total. But I just think you're referring to like the super fresh guys that nobody knows of.
I'm just saying that's their standard contract. If you want to go to the PFL and you don't have any management, that's probably what you're dealing with right there. I don't know. Seems shitty with me. There's just so much fucking on, and I can't read through it all. You guys should look at that stuff that I post though, and you should follow those guys. To hold quarterfinals. I'm gonna close this now. So those were the PFL terms. I'm gonna be done with that one. All right. So that is the last one. Or this is the last one now. So the name of this topic is slap bitch. So I know everybody hates power slap. I know when Dana White said this thing is bigger than the other sports, I even was like, yeah, I got to call cap on that shit. That seems like a motherfucking lie to me, right? Um, well, I want to ask real quick, who in here thinks that slap is bigger than the UFC in terms of social media footprint? Nobody? I got nothing? Did the
Bro,
mics cut out?
it's slap bet.
You're joking, right?
Like
What do you mean?
it's slapping.
I don't think any of us are gonna agree on that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to post an article that I really hope you guys bookmark because um, Kevin Iole does great work. Whether you agree with some of the stuff he reports or you don't, he does great work. That tweet that I just posted takes you to Kevin's website where you can read his articles. I am going to be quoting some things from an article he wrote and published on his website named let me scroll down here. I don't know the name by heart. So the name of the article is Powers. I didn't write down the goddamn name of the article. Oh, yeah, I did not write down. I am fucking embarrassed, guys. I guess I have it right here, though, so it'll only take me a fucking second. But damn, I'm a dick. Anyways, he wrote it and published it on his website on March 15th. I feel like a fucking ass.
It won't even open on my shit either. Like, what a dick. Power Slap, enabling Dana White to create another massive business success story, but even quicker than he did with the UFC. That's the name of the article. Kevin talks about his experience with Slap Fight. I don't know exactly what his relationship is with the promotion, but I've noticed that he's at events. I've noticed that he's at the pressers. I've noticed that he's interviewed Dana about it. So he must be a guy that Dana goes to, for slap media. Kevin Iole, he's a fairly big deal. Like, I'm not being a smartass. Like, he's a fairly big deal in my opinion. You guys all know who Kevin is? God damn crickets in this motherfucker tonight. Okay. So, anyways,
I mean, I've heard of the name, but I don't know who the guy is.
he's the old white guy with no hair that has a kind of annoying voice, but he's always very fair when he reports. You should follow him. I just posted one of his things. You won't regret following him, Dad. He's a he's an F he's a sports journalist. I think that he only covers boxing, MMA, and power slap now. So I'm gonna go ahead and have Darce read, I don't know, just probably 60 seconds of his article there. I'm gonna call this the intro to that article. You should really read the whole article. There's a ton of fucking information in it. But I'm just going to play this particular part of it. So here we go. Las Vegas, UFC CEO Dana White is seated at a table in the executive dining room on the UFC campus, quietly eating lunch. He is listening intently as Power Slap president Frank Lamasella is rattling off a mind-numbing list of social media numbers. Power Slap has 6 of the top 10 YouTube shorts of all time, accounting for 560 million views. The UFC's 6 best YouTube shorts include 5 Power Slap videos, which total over 510 million additional views. Combined, there are over 1.07 billion views of those on a planet inhabited by 8 billion humans. It has over 5.5 billion owned views on social media. But given that until Power Slap 6, no tickets were sold and only social media influencers were invited to attend, there's no telling how many total views the 6 official Power Slap events have received on social media. Rapper Travis Scott attended Power Slap 6 at the Durango Resort on February 9th on Super Bowl weekend. He live streamed some of the matches on his Instagram account, which at one point had 200,000 concurrent viewers. That translates to millions of viewers in all. Power Slap reached 2 million subscribers on YouTube in 13 months with less than 1,000 videos. By comparison, it took the NHL 15 years with more than 20,000 videos to reach 2 million subscribers. It has already surpassed 13 million followers combined on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So that's the open to Kevin's article. I did not write that. Kevin did. It's a great read. He's got a lot more in there. Power Slap is currently evaluated at $650 million. And according to Dana White, I believe at the Power Slap 6 post-event press conference, there have been numerous offers to try and buy it already. As far as a business model that me included, the regular person may not fully understand. PFL hasn't been around, or PSL hasn't been around that long. A billion views on your own 2 pages alone has to account for a lot. And people clip, snip, remix, and do all that shit. If it's a billion on their 2 pages, I would just assume that that's somewhere more around 3. 2 or 3 billion views. That shit's fucking insane. Like I'll be honest, I wouldn't have thought that about Power Slap at all. I see it and I'm like, bro, nobody gives a fuck about Power Slap. Like, what are they talking about? But in a world where you can generate money with views, like, I don't know, man. That's fucking pretty insane to me. Where I'm going with this is I think it's likely that Dana White builds it for another 5 years, maybe 6 years, um, and sells it to TKO before he retires off. Dana's been buying a lot of shit. I don't know if you guys know about all the shit he owns. He owns like Fight Circus. He owns Ridiculousness. He owns Slap. He owns all types of shit now. Yeah, they're going to shove this shit down our throat. And I definitely think there is a day where we see a Power Slap fight or match or whatever you want to call it at a UFC event. I think that day comes. I think that day happens. And I know they did one at like an oppressor. That's not what I'm talking about. I think they do one on a pay-per-view. I think they do one before a co-main event. Um, Whatever. I'm not saying I agree with it, but people like that shit. I know Trace watches it. Trace, what do you think of all that shit? Trace is sleeping over there.
I'm not sleeping. I'm close to. No. What was your question? No, I had to find the phone.
Nothing. I just was wondering what you think of all the shit I said about Power Slap. You slept through. It's all right, man.
No, I wouldn't asleep. I'm just doing my kid.
I got you. Well, that could probably be it. Power Slap is gonna be around, guys. It's not going anywhere. Fucking.
I think it's a good thing to transition into. I think we could draw a crowd from both sides. I think it could one could help the other. Talking about the fight being in the like a co-main event on a card. I don't know. I think Dana White will try to keep it separately. I don't know if he wants to mix businesses or not. I think he wants it to be successful independently and not dependent on the UFC. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you see them start like
No, I don't think listed.
advertising like the upcoming slap stuff on the cards. That I do think will happen.
I don't think that it'll be like listed on the card, but like UFC 300 would be probably a good candidate where just when the card rolls around, they're like, yo, and there's a fucking slap fight coming tonight. Like, I don't think it would be listed like.
And you know what's going to happen when they do that? Everybody's going to go to the fucking bathroom and go buy a beer.
Are you sure? Because the fucking arena fucking packed full when they did the one at the press conference.
I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan.
Skeptical.
You can
It was
try
the
to
first
tell me
time.
on all the numbers and all the success it's doing. Bro, soccer's the number one fucking sport around the world, and I don't give two fucks about soccer. Like, it is what it is, man. It's slapping. If it gets successful and it makes a lot of money, awesome.
Right. I'm not saying you got to like it. What I'm saying to you is I'm just trying to pose a point that I think it's going to be part of MMA, whether we like it or not. I think that. I think it's going to be around. It's going to be attached stigmatively to the same company. I think that TKO buys it. So I think essentially, like, TKO is going to have Power Slap, UFC, and WWE.
Let me tell you something. The middleweight division and probably light heavyweight division should be very happy that Paul Daly and Chris Levin are both retired because two guys known for their chins and their fucking hooks. Imagine
Yeah.
them motherfuckers slapping the shit out of you. They were built for this shit.
Well,
You
imagine,
think they're going to slap each other for fucking $4,000?
bro, but it's not going to be that. And you know that. You know that a UFC fighter, Donald Cerrone right now could get paid $250,000 to slap with somebody. You know it, and I know it. They'd give him $250K, no problem. They would. It's because he'll sell. People would tune in. People would want to see it. I think Dana is purposely trying to build it without all of those guys yet, but he's starting to surround them. And like, if you're TKO, right? See, I think Dana has to worry about fight contracts because he owns Power Slap and TKO owns the UFC. But in a world where TKO buys it, bro, just think about the potential for them to funnel guys who are done or not successful in the UFC to Power Slap, to funnel guys from WWE to Power Slap, to take guys that are in MMA and guys that are in pro wrestling and have them meet in Power Slap competitions. Dana White can't do it because he doesn't own the fighter contracts. But if TKO bought it, I really think it would be used in a weird type of bridge. I think it would see a lot of success. I think people would eat it up to see pro wrestlers fucking slap fight with people. I think that shit would get eaten up. And I think there could easily be a world where slap fighting pays very good money. If it's making this type of impression and these type of imprints, it's got to be able to generate really good money. Like on the flip side of all that information being announced, like and released, now these guys know. They know what they're getting paid and they know the fucking what they're drawing. Like somebody's gonna call Ali Abdelaziz and say, "Hey, bro, help me out." It'll shape up as far as pay goes. I'm not against it. When I see it, I watch it. I haven't tuned in. I tuned in for the first season, and I had no problems with it. I haven't tuned in since then. And I have not tuned in live to any. Oh, I did tune in live to the first event and the second one too, but I haven't been tuning in live or anything. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think we're gonna shake Power Slap. I don't think we got a chance in hell. I think it is fucking here to stay. That's all I got, boys. I'm done. Sorry if I sound like shit or if I was off. I'm fucking sick today. Feeling like ass. Fucking whatever. Some fucking stupid virus. I got 5 kids. We're always fucking sick around this bitch, it feels like this time of year. Any old way. That's all I got, boys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for sticking your time out. Dead Picks, thanks for doing the stream work. I was in the YouTube. I was able to log in and I could have edited things. I could have if you could hop on the mic for a quick second, are you're live in the software, right? Or are you live through YouTube? Dead Picks. He may not be able to switch back around because he's doing the YouTube shit right now.
It's
But
probably because you bored him to death with all that slap talk.
fuck off, bro.
Oh, he's requesting. He's coming in right now.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
Yo. No, I'm streaming through the OBS through the OBS system, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, that's where you do all the description and everything, right?
Oh no, I do it all through the YouTube studio. Like when
Got
you
you.
go, like when you press go live and all that.
So you're not using OBS right now?
No, OBS is what's streaming. Like how you see my screen, you know how like you see me going up and down. How I was able, to capture all the pics and get
Yep.
everything. Yeah, that's what OBS is.
Okay.
And then yeah, I use YouTube, to set the descriptions, the thumbnails, set it in the playlist, all that stuff.
I got you. I got you. All right. Well, that's all I got. Thank you, everybody. And man, slow weeks like this on slow cards like this, I really appreciate everybody sticking it out. It's great on the weeks where we're getting, 700,000, 1,100 listens, and its pay-per-views. We had one of them a couple weeks ago, but I really appreciate everybody gets out here on these cards, man, and everybody that tunes in and everybody that does this shit with us. We are definitely a couple hundred shows into this. We have been doing it for a little while now. I know I've been promising all the updates on the website. Trace is in my developers chat with me. I just put him in there so someone could see that I'm not always full of shit, you know. We're just having a problem with the loading time. I'm really pissed about it. Not pissed at like the developers. I need the loading time to be under 15 seconds for the whole board. It loads a lot of shit, but it's obnoxious. It's got to be like under 10 seconds. So really trying to work that out. But we have tail of the tape, and we have a bunch of updates that I'm ready to drop. And that stuff all matters. And once the next update drops, we will be inclusive. When we do tail of the tape, when we do odds, Andrew won't have to break the format to ask me to do odds anymore. It'll all be in one place for him. It'll literally be Andrew will be able to say, here's the fight. It's at this many books. Here's the odds. And he'll be able to click their names and give you the tail of the tape. And we won't have to break it. It was real broken today. It didn't flow real well, probably because I feel like shit. Um, it's all coming very, very soon. That's been my goal since we started doing this, is that we would have our site with all of our own stuff on it. So we're almost there. Everybody that shows up every week and all them stupid views we get and all them listens we get, they're the reason I keep coming back and the reason I keep building the site. So thank you guys. That's it for me. I feel like shit. I'm going to bed.
All right, guys. We out of here. Y'all have a good night. CapMMA.com.